I didn't change the stream title. Let's try that one more time. Hello and welcome back to Winter's Tales. My name is AJ Winters. If you are just joining us, you found yourselves, I should say, in the middle of our 48-hour calamity. What, pray tell, is that? Well, I had a ridiculous idea to invite over 40 people into one big massive event over 48 hours where we destroyed a world and then rebuilt a world over 7 games. Yes, it's a biblical reference with wordplay. But before we crack into game 5 of this 48 hours, we are going to introduce these incredible, good-looking players that I have surrounding me right now. I'm really excited to tell this particular story since the world has been changed significantly since game number 4. But let us introduce... Oh, the plug went away. Let us introduce the incredible players, starting with Danny. The other side. Danny. There we go.
Hi,
Who are you?
I'm Danny Montooth. I'm one of... I'm on. There it is. I'm Danny Montooth. I'm one of the founders of Perception Studio, where we have our flagship show, Perception Check, where you can find the Felted Friends. If you don't know what that is, you'll find out later in Game 7. For me personally, I am also an audiobook narrator, and one fun, exciting thing is I will be the voice of Hunt Athalar for the upcoming graphic audio production of Crescent City. Which I'm pretty stoked about. Available for pre-order now. All right, that's me.
Yay! I'm so excited. All right, we're going to go down around in the circle. So next up is Jeremy. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Jeremy Cobb. My pronouns are he, him. You may know me from the show Three Black Halflings, where I'm the co-host and resident GM. It's where a podcast talks about diversity and inclusivity in TTRPGs and general nerddom. Part interview show, part variety show, part AP show. Fun times. You can find us wherever pods are cast. I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/casualquestlive. I stream video games because I don't play very many video games, and I'm playing a bunch of games now for the very first time. So if you want to see a person who is very much a casual, try and become a gamer, then head over to twitch.tv/casualquestlive. And Char actually streams with me on Mondays. We stream a co-op Baldur's Gate 3 game. So fun times are being had. And you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Blue Sky at Jeremy Cobb1. That's Cobb with 2 B's, the number 1. And on Instagram at the Cobbmeister.
The Cobbmeister. I love that name. I read that and I was so happy about it. It is an absolute honor to have you here. Thank you so much for being with us for this one-shot. Moving on to Julie. Who are you? Where can people find you?
Hello, I go by Julian, or Julie CL on all places online. Sometimes one of those L's is secretly a capital I, because I didn't get to the name first. In the TTRPG space, I make it my mission to promote indie games, most notably right now on the channel Roll D5, of which I'm a co-owner, founder, whatever. Games like Gubat Banwa, a Filipino Southeast Asian combat system. I'm also the co-creator and co-writer of an award-winning audio drama series called The Realm Tree. It's 30 episodes, features actors from Avatar: The Last Airbender, Genshin Impact, and more. I am so tired. I do a lot of stuff.
I feel that. But it's so amazing to see some of your work. I was reading up on The Realm Tree, and I freaking love it. I can't wait to dive into that. When, any of us have time to consume any other one of our content, because I totally understand that thing of going, oh, I want to see everyone's stuff. We don't have the time. We're creating our own things. It pay us to create, please. Moving on to Shar. Who are you?
Hey, everybody. Who am I? I'm Charlene Bear. I go by Char. My pronouns are she, they. You can usually find me on Tabletop Titties, a queer and feminist TTRPG actual play show run entirely by... You know me! That's me! Yes! Run entirely by people of marginalized genders. Otherwise, I have guested on Three Black Halflings in their Big Trouble in Little Menus Kids on Bikes play, and I'm also currently on roll for it in their Lake Morana Call of Cthulhu show, but just find me online at Charlene Bear and I'll let you know what I'm up to.
Love that. Love it. Also another show series that I want to check out, Tabletop Titties, because I've been meaning to for so long.
Top tier name, by the way.
Sorry?
Thank you.
Top tier name.
Yeah, yes, absolutely adore it. Moving last but certainly not least, Corsic Phoenix, who are you?
Hello, yes, I am Caustic Phoenix on all channels except
spelled
for
your name
Twitter
wrong.
because of inconsistent branding. No, we're good. Phoenix is the choice.
It's the
You know,
weirdly
we make
spelled.
up whatever we want. It's okay. It's okay.
Phoenix
No,
doesn't have the
hello,
E
friends.
first.
Yeah. E. There we go. We'll get
Mm.
there. We'll
Mhm.
get there. But yes, I'm over on Twitch and we do a lot of different video games. But right now we're going through Destiny and I'm playing a Titan for the first time, which apparently that's what I should have been this entire time because I'm really enjoying it. So if you want to come over and join us, we do that every Monday and Thursday nights, except for last night because it was the Game Awards. And you can also find me on D20 Deathmatch. We are just wrapping up season 5 this Sunday and it's going to be streamed to both Twitch and YouTube and it's going to be our Royal Rumble. So if you like a TTRPG that is PvP inspired by WWE and Mystery Science Theater 3000, we're kind of your thing if you didn't know that. So I hope you can come join us 9 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a grand old time. Danny, you're joining us for that, right? Yes. So chaos will be all over the place. And if you want a little extra, on Monday nights over on the Gamers channel, I interview women in the gaming space as we talk about who we are, what we go through, and the experiences as we share what it means to be a gamer fully and comprehensively. Sometimes we don't even talk about games because our identity revolves more than just one thing. So I encourage you to come join us if you'd like to know more, 7 p.m. over on the Gamers channel.
What? Women aren't two-dimensional? What are you on about?
I know, right?
That's-
sometimes we
that's
don't
a
even talk
foreign
about being
concept.
women because
What?
it's, we do other
Never.
things too.
Never.
We are other things. Yeah, turns out
That's a
they're
ridiculous
layers.
statement. No, I love it. That's exactly why I started this channel back when I was getting into TTRPGs. I was not seeing any females in the space, especially not ones doing being behind the DM screen. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to build a studio and I'm going to run the first D&D studio in Australia. And I'm going to be a DM behind that screen. Yeah, because you know what? Sometimes you just gotta strive for a goal, set yourself the bar, and just smash it, like this, like the 48-hour Calamity and meeting all these cool TTRPGs. But thank you so much for those beautiful introductions. Let us crack into today's game, because a lot has happened in the world since we started the 48-hour stream, and I think we basically need to explore this new section of the world that's been brought to life by our previous world builders in the previous grouping. Damon and John from Phoenix Iwaki, and Damon of the Crowned fame, a TTRPG system coming out soon. So, where am I? Game 5. Okay. We are going to begin tonight's game. I say tonight because, no, wait, you are all in morning. It's tonight for me. We begin this morning's game in a very odd location, a strange cultural mix between Fae and mortal in a city that was known as Viridian and is now being called Verve, a place where the Evergrowth and old god of Scion and Scythe had been lost and buried, trapped and punished, and in their loss the new city of steampunk variety, a cosmopolitan mix of amassing clockwork owls that would send messages to different parts of the city, this industrial growth atop kind of a Babylonian garden that used to exist here. This is where we begin our adventure tonight, today, this morning, whatever time zone you are in, as we dive into one of the back alley streets of this location. We see a couple of clockwork owls hopping about, sending little messages that print out in tape form, similar to Morse code of the olden times. These clockwork owls sort of flitter off, and we see a couple of shady dealings in the what is known as Cloakwork District. And in this particular area, a problem is afoot. And a message goes out to not necessarily the shadier dealings of this particular city, but in fact, the best people for the job. people who travel, people who are heroes, people who are here to help the city, its citizens, or the world itself, as a crisis has been had in this city. So, a particular clockwork owl flutters across the city to the quieter part of town, an area where the animals reside, little critters of all different varieties, as Perry is going to be, I assume, feeding the animals and or observing them, but Corsic Phoenix, why don't you describe your character and what they are currently up to in this city?
Yes, actually sitting down on the ground quite comfortably, not typically what we would expect since city streets are not exactly known to be the cleanest, but not bothered by this at all. You see this old dragonborn, gaunt with face, and just layers of clothes, and under each layer maybe another bag, another strap of different pages, of different books, just burdened overall, making her shape much larger, almost ominous, with this giant hump of a backpack that she has on behind her, carrying all sorts of pens and notes that she refuses to give up at any point in time, offering what little crumbs she has to the creatures at her feet. Here, you probably need some as well. Yeah, take another little handout. Almost begrudgingly. Like, there's kindness in her eyes, but in her tone, it feels dull and kind of cold, and her shoulders slump down. I don't have any more. What do you want? As she kind of empties the rest of her crumb pockets. Oh, shoo! And she'll try to bother them away, but clearly not putting together a lot of effort towards it.
I love that. Some of them skitter off, not enjoying the louder sounds, and others stick around with almost a perplexed appearance on their face, looking up at you like, come on, lady, you got more snacks. What the hell are you doing? As they do indeed scatter off when two semi-large for this area, these little critters, clockwork owl claws land right in front of you, and you see the big little clog eyes open up with like a glassy black texture behind them. And you hear the vocal sounds of this clockwork owl as it sort of states to you very, very politely, as these clockwork owls are known to do. Hello, I have a message for thee. Would you like to hear it?
Do I have a choice, or you're going to share the message anyway?
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, you're a real fun conversationalist. Go ahead, tell me the message.
You immediately watch as, instead of relaying the message as these new updated clockwork owls are meant to do, it starts printing out this long text message in like an inch wide tape, where it's just one line of text continuously.
Are you kidding me? Who's supposed to be able to read it? Now, where are my glasses? And she's like opening one sack. No, it's not in this one. Oh, I hope I didn't break something in there. And she'll move over to another satchel before she finally pulls out these tiny, like almost moon spectacles that just sit right on the ridge of her nose. How am I supposed to read this? Are you kidding me? Can't you print in a bigger font style? Gah! What does it say?
You read a very well, but definitely coded message that reads, need your help. Please visit the Fey Pawn Shop. Pawn spelled P-A-W-N, just to clarify.
Honestly, I didn't know where we were going.
Accent.
Shucks. I know.
The nightlife in Australia right now.
Yeah, it's midnight over here. I need some action. Create some Fey porn. Anyway, the meet at the Fey Pawn Shop. Please bring snacks.
I just gave all my snacks away. Fine, I'll just pick something up. Please bring snacks. Why am I always the one who has to bring snacks to everything? Because they think I just carry all this around for everybody else. And you can see her struggle to get up one knee at a time, using a wall, and then eventually, still struggling, just grabs a passerby. Help me up! As she uses them as cane of sorts.
The clockwork owl just watches you do this and then eventually states, "Would you like to reply?"
Tell them next time, tell me in person. And she'll just kind of kick in the direction of the owl.
Not a problem. The clockwork owl makes a sort of gear turn as it records that message and starts to flitter off into the air across the Babylonian gardens of this city of Verve.
Technology. When did people just stop talking face to face?
The Fae brought a lot of interesting things after the collide between these realms. 8 years ago, in fact, as pockets of the Fae realm itself seem to manifest as the gods, or at least 5 out of the 7 major gods, were locked below the surface of this world, and the entire civilization seemed to change. The mortals and humanoids migrated not only into the mountain ranges to escape all these new cities of Fae popping up, the dangerous kind, not just the regular sprites and pixies and bizarre ones that exist in this city, but also the other half of the population seemed to become more pirates, taking to the seas to escape the lands full of Fae. This was an eclectic mix of culture shock over the last 8 years, and so the Fae brought the helpful clockwork friends that they have in the Feywild, as well as a bunch of other Fae magic and technology to help the mortals improve during this time of instability. We hop across to a different part of the city, where I think the camera sort of zooms in to the big ears of another small critter, but this time, instead of it being fed by someone in the city, it is indeed one of our characters tonight. Shar, could you please describe to us your character?
Biscuit Pitter-Patter is a male mouse folk. He's got thick brown fur, tiny black nose, and very comedically large light pink ears. He wears thick white divination robes as he rummages in his pack, pulling out a map of the area. I think I haven't been to this district yet. Let's see. And he takes out a quill, marking his territory as he continues his search.
I love that so much. Perfect. As you continue your search, you sort of skitter through this open street that seems kind of like the equivalent of a Fey Realm shopping mall. It's all very polished, but there's just a little bit of oddity to it. And as you do so, your path is blocked by one of probably the scariest things that you've experienced in this city, which is a clockwork owl. And the polite little face with its beak made of metal sort of peeks down at you as it opens its mouth and an audio message plays out of it.
Please don't eat me!
Hello! I have a message for you.
Oh, a friendly one. Okay. What is it?
It starts, printing it out through its mouth. This is one of the older versions, and you just see here as this paper comes out of the beak, and you start pulling it out to read it,
and walk backwards with it as it keeps printing.
I love that. It's like the ticketed machine when you go to sort of an arcade. It just keeps going and going and going. And this very long almost looks like it's handwritten, because this clockwork apparently has running writing. I don't know, we're making it up on the spot. It reads to you, Dearest Biscuit, a dear friend of mine, I have a task for thee that I ask of you. We have a mutual friend or ally in dearest need of our help. Please attend the pawn shop down the corner of Eastern Street and Fay 3rd, so that we may guide this lost citizen.
Oh, another person lost. Well, I'll happily take this quest. Thank you so much. Of course. Biscuit Pitter-Patter, the greatest wizard in the world, will save the day. You can let them know that, I say to the Clockwork Owl.
The Clockwork Owl repeats exactly what you just said back to you, and then says, "Confirm, reply."
Confirm!
It starts to take off into the sky and fly across to the city, which it instructed you, the corner where Fay Third Street, apparently, is what I said, is going to have the pawn shop, the Fay pawn shop. I'm just going to keep saying it, and we'll normalize it, maybe. Where you are to help a lost citizen. We
Perhaps they'll have some good magic items in there. That could help our quest. And you see a spectral cat appear next to Biscuit. It has large wings. It's a tressum. And this is Biscuit's familiar Gravy as they head down the street towards...
Biscuit and Gravy. Absolutely incredible. I love it. Yes, perfect. You and your spectral cat move down the streets in the direction of this location. And we duck and weave the camera following a couple of loose feathers from actual birds that exist in the city as we tune into an Alwyn themselves. Please describe to us your character.
Sure. So Boreal Barbicel, picture a very leather-clad owl boy. Also many satchels, also many pages. A historian of sorts will go and spelunk tombs, take pressings of etchings in walls, will make fantastic drawings of everything he sees, but he leaves everything alone. And if he ever spots somebody trying to rob a tomb, he will cut them down because it does not belong in a museum. But yeah, he's just kind of he's chilling right now, and he's just sitting back using his wings as a cushion. He's using his feet to turn the pages of a book down on the floor, and he's got a smaller book in his left hand and another book in his right hand. His eyes are just kind of doing whatever as he's checking everything. A bit chameleon-y.
I love that. You hear from behind you, meow.
Oh, not again. He turns around very slowly.
They believe it to be rude to send a Clockwork Owl to a fellow Alwyn, and so they have sent
Damn
you
right, they took our jobs.
They sent you a Clockwork Cat instead, which is not much better. Being that cats and owls don't really have a good relationship either. But you see the Clockwork Cat ears sort of perk up at this passive-aggressive, almost sassy expression on a automaton. As this thing sort of turns to you. Ma chérie, I have a message for thee.
Right then, get it out.
They start to purr in the back of their throat, and the gears start churning, and from the belly of this kitty pours out a spiral note of paper that sort of like poofs up into the air and lands in front of your feet.
Pick it up with a talon, toss it up to a hand, catch it, start reading it.
Perfect. It is very simple. It is written in a code that only you would understand, because it is from a friend of yours. But I will leave that to you, Denny. What do you think a childhood friend of Boreal would be?
Probably somebody who went to school with. They probably see things differently. I imagine he grew up to be a collector, where I grew up to be a protector. So it's like we morally disagree, but we still keep in touch and share findings. Like the knowledge of the findings, we still share with each other. But like if I could raid his house and put everything back in its place, I would. So we don't hang, but like we still respect each other.
Then, in a very subtle message, it reads. There is an artifact that needs returning to its home. Interested?
I knew he'd come around. And I'm just kind of proud of my friend. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. And I just grab a javelin off the wall, shove it in my back, grab my daggers, put them in my things. Like I just start arming myself and then take off.
Okay, I love that. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I just read messages, and I got distracted. We're gonna move to, I think Sol next. Where would Sol be located in the city? And please describe to us your character, Julie.
I think maybe Saul is hanging around in whatever the equivalent of a pub is at this point.
Yeah. The
Saul
Wishing
is,
Well.
The Wishing Well, absolutely. Frequents the place, likes to start fights there. Saul is our paladin, Oath of the Watcher's paladin. Very much has the vibe of a tiny, tough person. They stand maybe 5'8". Imagine like I'm getting inspiration for them from like a pre-colonial Filipino warrior who was like assimilated into the diaspora. So you can see tattoos on the neck. You can see a long black ponytail down their back, but they are wearing the more Western armor with a dark grays and brown hues to them. And Sol, I think, is probably lounging, feet up, polishing off another drink, slamming it on the table. They're like, I want more. Stand up, makes their way over to their bar.
Perfect. You make your way over to the bar and you see one of the Fey bartenders that work here at the Wishing Well. They have been influenced by the Collide, as they call it, where they have more mortal features than Fey, but you can still tell from the shining golden eyes on an otherwise very plain looking bar maiden who looks relatively human, except for these like piercing golden eyes that stare at you. Yeah, what can I get you?
More of the same, but make it double. 2 mugs, not the big one. I like to double fist.
What are you gonna give me?
Am I gonna give you? I was thinking gold, but now, I don't know, Night on the Town. I think you and I have a lot in common. People who were affected by these collisions of worlds.
You know that's not what I meant. Come on, I'm a Fae. I deal with bargains. I'll give you the best drinks. You give me something that I want.
Fine. How about information?
I'm listening.
I hear on the streets that there's a number of artifacts being moved around, places that they should and shouldn't be. Is that something that would be intriguing to you? Maybe someone who collects things?
Definitely. What things are being moved?
I don't know, I just heard the rumors, man.
Okay. I'll give you these 2 drinks for free, but if you find out what's being moved in this city, I got some people that might want to know. And you'll get free drinks for the rest of the weekend.
Fuck yeah! I take those drinks and return to my seat.
Perfect. You are tasked with a certain mission to find some moving artifacts within this city. And so once finishing those 2 drinks, you stumble out of the Wishing Well on a mission. Please roll for me the first roll of the game. An investigation check.
Oh, incredible.
Mm.
My +0 to intelligence has yielded, let's go, a 4.
Absolutely freaking incredible. Okie dokie. I will take that 4, and I will tell you that you stumble into a back alley of one of the streets. You think that you're following a lost artifact that's sort of moving, and then you realize it's an old woman carrying her shopping bags. Not so great on the investigation there, but you do see a clockwork orange? A clockwork owl sitting on the fence.
Those are rare.
Yeah, it's just an orange. Actually, you know what? I said it, it's canon. There's a clockwork orange that's sitting on a fence. It looks bizarre, and as you focus in with your semi-drunken eyes, it starts unfolding into a beautiful little owl that can wrap into a ball, because I've made that canon now. And it speaks to you. I have a message. Would you like to hear it?
This seems normal. Yeah, sure.
What? It starts to, like, spit out the message, the tape printing out for you, and you read on it, if you really want to find the artifacts, you should look in the western part of the city, towards the Fey pawn shop, on the corner of Fey 3rd Street.
I frequent that place. Oh, the pawn shop. All right, the other one. Yeah. I had it.
It's pawn in both ways for my accent. I'm sorry. But it's fine. Perfect. Okay. So, as soon as you take this message, this owl sort of wraps itself back into a ball and seems to roly-poly off the fence and out of your line of sight.
Wouldn't flying be fast? Okay, sure.
The inventions get real wacky around this city, honestly. They're doing all sorts of new advancements for these things. And you make your way towards the given location that a mysterious letter was given to you, who you don't know who it came from. As we dive past all of the chaos happening at the Wishing Well on the way to a different part of the city, as Jeremy, please describe to us your character, what you might be doing as a savior of the realm.
Right. So right now, Ahaniel, pronouns they, them, is in a nightclub. Absolutely dancing it up. As like it is a Fey nightclub though, specifically, because it technically counts as work, because I am keeping tabs on the intruders into this realm. This room is filled with Fey of all varieties, dryads, naiads, redcaps, etc., both Seelie and Unseelie and beyond. But standing amongst them, sticking out like a beautifully sore thumb, is a 7-foot-tall Azamar, looking for all the world as though they are 9 feet tall because of the 2-foot-tall beautiful afro that sits atop their head. Fully nude and glistening, skin looking like it's either polished marble or covered in baby oil. And strangely, anyone who looks at their form, any part of them that they would normally be uncomfortable seeing is coincidentally always covered. It's a strange phenomenon that occurs. So they're always at least partly covered, unless you don't want them to be. Their body is covered in glowing gold markings that form calligraphic hieroglyphic prayers and psalms in any language, really, depending on who's looking, or what language you're thinking in. You can see like, oh wait, I understand that. It's either objects that are covering their body or lens flare, depending on the angle. And in addition to all of this, their eyes are covered by a sort of a floating blindfold that does not wrap around their head. It just sort of floats in front of their face. But behind that, you can see 2 glowing, burning eyes. And yeah, Ahaniel is getting down with their bad self. Ahaniel was sent here from another realm, originally to help with the collide, like help sort of prevent the collide. Unfortunately, due to heavenly bureaucracy, they arrived 3 years after the collide event. And so for the past 5 years have been helping to essentially guard this realm against any further incursions from other planes, and also to try and help keep the peace as much as possible. So they're able to write off their club time as work-related expenses. And that is absolutely what they're doing. They are getting down with their bad selves in the weirdest way possible, because it's all weird celestial dancing. So it does not fit in. It is just extremely they look like that one. You know how every club has the one person who's just dancing by themselves and seems to be having a great time? Yeah, that's Ahaniel right now. They are absolutely getting down, oblivious to the fact that no one else is dancing with them.
I adore that. I have no idea how to get a clockwork owl in this scenario, so instead, I'm going to have a celestial ping sort of go off in your peripheral. In the back of your mind, you feel an inherent change in the winds, a need for a hero, a need for some observant eye to witness an event. This calling comes to you in the middle of the blaring Feywild beats, which, by the way, I am assuming is like a mix of Irish dancing and hip-hop. I'm down for it. It's like all leg, no arm movement. It's real strange.
Everyone's river dancing except me.
Yeah, the river dancing to like Feywild R&B. It doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, you feel this little ping in the back of your mind. What would you like to do with that?
I think the way that ping manifests, because I come from the realm, it's the rough translation is the realm of celestial singing trees. The name is unpronounceable in other languages. It sounds basically like the actual name is the sound of the wind through the trees, as interpreted through wind chimes. But unfortunately, I just have to say the realm of singing trees in these languages. And I think
you could try.
It's honestly it's whenever I do it, everyone immediately passes out with sheer arousal. So that's why I stopped. I don't like to say it anymore. But the music, I think it's like the oscillation of the beats suddenly morphs and changes, and I hear it as my language coming to me, being like, "You are needed. They need you at the Fey pawn shop." It's a little ambiguous. And I say, perfect. And I go next door to the porn shop.
The next door? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Perfect. Well then, as you arrive, you are actually the last to arrive of this particular motley crew. Unsure if any of you have heard of each other or know of each other, but you all stand in the pawn shop itself, looking around at some of the strange items that are bottled and jarred and displayed on the shelves around the place. Things that mortals or Fae themselves have sold for an extra coin or necessary need that they might have wanted in the moment and maybe forgotten and or didn't have the cash to be able to come back and claim it once again. Things like your favorite dream etched into a jar. There is a swirling mixture like a paint palette that is labeled the color of your eyes. There is a small scroll on the other shelf that reads the best idea you've ever had. Things like that. The first song you learned on the flute, your greatest memory. And also on the other side of the shop, porn. Just straight up, like people's, salacious paintings that they sent to ex-lovers that they don't have need for anymore, and sold at this shop, to maybe reclaim one day if they need to. But yeah, this is the Fae porn shop. Both meanings as well.
Apparently he's a middleman when it comes to sending nudes. Is that what you just They have to hire a portrait artist to make them naked so they can send it to their partners?
we have clockwork messages, but there's no such thing as flash photography. So no photography whatsoever. You have to get an oil painting of your nude body done up to send to people.
You know what? I'll say I moonlight as a painter. Turns out hunting extraplanar beings really doesn't pay the bills. So I'm just walking over like, oh, I remember this one.
You see your signature in the bottom right corner. Yeah, okay.
I don't get royalties on these.
It's terrible. I love it. So you all see, as from the back, I want to say a beaded curtain, because that gives the vibe of this place. Seems to make a jostling sound, knocking together the little wooden beads against the frame of the door, as a very apparently short member of the Feywild, or the original Feywild, steps behind the counter. You cannot see them until they are in the aisle that you're all standing in. And before you see sort of a very short, what you would assume to be a satyr, but once you look a little closer, you see that they're just wearing furry pants and self-made tap shoes. You each know this gentleman to be Caraway. In your various dealings, not necessarily with this particular pawn shop, this is just an establishment that he's recently purchased. But this particular satyr deals in so many different careers and choices throughout the different areas, and knows every single person in the area to connect him to others. That like 6 degrees of separation kind of thing, he's only got one. He knows almost everyone. Caraway stands before you and sort of adjusts his glasses on top of his face that looks, again, relatively human, and looks to the 5 of you.
Hello?
Okay, brilliant. I like it. I like it a lot. You all look perfectly suitable for this event today.
Oh, hold on. Event? And Perry's gonna sit on the ground next to Biscuit. Hey, it's good to see you again.
Perry, hi. Are you were called as well?
Yeah, I don't know why. And I was told I had to bring snacks, and she'll pull out, oddly enough, small biscuits.
Perry, who is your, and like wiping drool off, friend?
No. And kind of hold out her cloak. You see nothing. There is nothing, Boreal.
Sorry,
Biscuit, you should
sorry.
probably stay behind my.
Says the
Not
Feywild
to-
Friend, not food.
Right.
Here. No, eat a biscuit instead. Not that. No, I should not have done that. A snack. And she'll hold out some, and they're tiny little, like, small biscuits in hand.
Like tiny teddies. Did you guys have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like little Teddy Grams?
Teddygrams, I think they were called.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Teddygrams it is. Love cultural differences. It's great. So, you hold out these little animal-shaped cookies, and you partake in some of them, and immediately your satyr friend, Caraway, sort of like reaches an elongated arm out. Satyrs are weird, and sort of grabs one of the biscuits.
Caraway,
You could
your
have
message
asked first.
said someone was missing. What's
Oh,
going on?
yes. Okay, follow me into the back room. Okay, this is secret.
I just sat
shit
down.
Stuff. Well, don't do that.
I'll help you.
Oh, Biscuit. Oh,
Follow. Come now.
kind of uses Biscuit's head to like push up. Thanks.
You hear the sort
Happy
of
to be a step stool.
you hear the clip and cloppy of these like fake satyr feet as you walk into the back room behind the beaded curtain, and there is sort of like a desk, a very makeshift office back here that is incredibly dark, which is half of a storage room on the other side for the personal or more expensive items that don't just get displayed on the shelves outside. And you see behind the desk a very large rectangular shape that is covered with cloth or like a blanket at this moment in time. Now, what you're about to see is going to be very shocking for a lot of you, okay?
It's a nude statue, isn't it?
Not at all, no, shut up. Okay. This is a political problem. Okay? And if we don't sort this out, we're going to have an all-out war with the neighboring city of Kaleidoscope.
Damn, and you're trusting us with this?
Well, yes, I am, because, she'll convince you. I'll let her talk. He removes the blanket, and before you stands this beautiful, ethereal fae, or should I say the reflection of a fae. I will need you all to roll me a history check to see if you know what this might be referring to.
Crit success.
Ooh.
I got a 5.
Oh,
16 for Biscuit.
nice. Perry?
9.
9, okay.
A 9 as well.
Perfect.
For a honey.
Twins.
Wonderful. So the 16 is going to be successful in this endeavor. Biscuit, as someone who has been lost yourself, this is a very interesting scenario to you. The city of Kaleidoscope is one of the biggest courts. Sol got a nat 20?
Yeah, I got
What?
it. Yeah, crit success, nat 20.
Holy
it
shit.
Makes sense. It makes sense for Biscuit to know this, so I was just gonna let you go.
I spaced out on that. I'm so sorry. So the both of you, because you both rolled above the DC, but I'm going to honor that nat 20 with some extra
Yeah.
detailing here. So the two of you would know that Kaleidoscope is a great city to the east of your city that you're currently in, Verveil, and in Kaleidoscope, it is basically also known as the City of Glass, or is surrounded by the Fields of Glass. This is because it is in a desert region that is plagued with storms powered by all sorts of funky, wacky magic happening from the Collide, and the Court of Reflection manifested itself here when the Fae joined in with this realm. the Court of Reflection are a bunch of fae who are able to separate from their inner ego, from their what they hide from the outer world. For these fae, hiding your reflection is almost more important than hiding your true name as a power source. They have a whole castle, a whole city made of glass itself, where their reflections can act on their own accord and separate from them. For Sol, this beautiful ethereal fae before you in a feminine form is a separated reflection. But not only that, this is the reflection of the Duchess herself. One of the leaders of the Court of Reflection from Kaleidoscope. You would know her name to be In Laurel. The prefix of in meaning the reflection of.
All right. So I think maybe Saul has picked up on this information. Not from being smart like Biscuit is, or Coriel, or, most of our party members. I think Saul's Outlander tribe came from past that area. And knowledge has just generally been picked up taking mercenary work. And Saul is going to look to the Duchess and say, well, shit, this is a big deal, huh? If you're showing yourself to a bunch of nobodies like us, and a Haniel who's not a nobody.
Hold on, I'll be a nobody when I publish my book. And she'll kind of try to whack at you with her staff a little bit.
Stop doing that.
You expect your book to be so unpopular that it makes you less popular?
What? Wait, am I popular?
Well, if you're going to be a nobody when you publish your book, that would imply you're somebody now.
Don't speak words to me! And she's just flustered with her inability to communicate. And she'll start trying to hit at your ankles. No, she can't reach up at you.
I nod solemnly and I say, I respect your commitment to ruining your reputation so much. It's unusual, but impressive.
I hate how respectful you are.
You say to an 8-foot-tall nude man.
Person.
I'm looking down at the ankles. I'm not looking up at all. Doesn't matter.
Fully clothed ankles.
That's
Even
a beautiful
the
lens
thing
flare.
is, the ankles, there are absolutely, there's lens flare, there's, some stuff that fell on the ground.
Yeah.
Just stuff that's covered at any point.
Is the clothing, to the imagination of the person? If I seen, scarves around your ankles?
No, it's more like stuff, like in a sitcom when an actress gets pregnant and they just keep, putting things in front of their abdomen. It's like that. So if you look up, paper floats by just at that point.
Magically.
I'm just imagining the scene from Austin Powers.
Exactly,
where everything's covering it, unintentionally. Yeah, I love that.
No matter what, it's covered. It's just not clothed.
Ellen!
It's never clothed.
Amazing. Yes, this beautiful ethereal Duchess faces you all and answers to Sol. Yes, it is quite a perplexing notion to reveal myself in this form, but I have no other choice, unfortunately, unless a scandal were to break out. I arrived here transported on a mission of diplomatic nature to make sure that our two cities remain united. I thought that I could do it myself rather than involving the court, and unfortunately it seems I am now stuck. I cannot transport myself back, so I will need a group of people to take this mirror back to the city of Kaleidoscope.
I was wondering why you asked a bunch of warriors on a diplomatic mission, but we're escorting it.
Correct. If I am to not return in a very timely manner, I'm sure that rumors are going to spark up of a kidnapping or something more salacious, and that would spark an all-out war between our cities.
So are we to understand that tensions are high already?
Yes.
And that it's sort of
quite.
You're a lit match and the cities are the powder keg. And we're here to blow you out?
Yes.
Don't say it like that.
I have no other way to say it. There's truly no other metaphor that could possibly apply in this situation.
You need to blow me out. That is correct.
My God.
Well, you need to be blown. And I kneel and I say, I'm your person. And I stand up and I say, I'm in. I say, let's transport this mirror back and avoid all-out war.
Not to be a bummer, but this is a rather large mirror. Is there like a handheld or something you could go to?
Unfortunately, that is what I was mentioning about being stuck. Usually, I can transport between any sort of reflection, but currently, outside of the realm and the magic of my court, I seem to be stuck in this.
Ugh.
All right, I can carry it. If the rest of you do your sorceress thingamabobs to keep people away from us, then we can get by just fine.
I hate to
Perhaps-
ask the terrible question, but what would happen should the glass become cracked or broken?
Well, I shall depart this realm and not return.
Oh, what a horrible thing. I write it down in my book.
I ask, may I'm not really a big brain. I'm more a feel sort of person. I intuit, but I do need to know, are you currently in a demi-plane or something a bit more ethereal, if you catch my drift?
I am in an ethereal reflection state.
Well, I have wonderful news. If you need company, or if perhaps you get lost, I can travel to the ethereal plane and attempt to bring you back. But I turn to the rest of the group and say, I think we should use that as a last resort, only in the case of a pure emergency. But it is an option.
Certainly, we wouldn't want you trapped in the same mirror, just in case.
Mm.
It's good to know. Good to know.
That's-
Yes,
That is
it would be
correct.
terrible.
We
Do
could.
You know,
Yes?
L'Oreal, do you know what's preventing you from doing your traveling? If it's too dangerous for us to bring you and the mirror back home, maybe we could dismantle whatever is abrupting you?
I don't know exactly. I think it's a magic range sort of a problem, being in this city. But I also suspect foul play. Potentially, someone doesn't want me to return and wants the rumors of a kidnapping to cause tension. I wouldn't understand why, but there are many people who believe the unity of our two cities would be wrong, that it would be too powerful and the other Fey courts would see it as a growth, a message of war. I do not agree.
So if you all become friends, there will be war. If you fight amongst yourselves, there will be war. Which war is worse?
Well, I think that the Fey courts take a lot longer to conduct their war and to make choices. They deal in secrets and bargains. From what I've experienced with mortals, you act quite fast and quite rash when it comes to highly strung emotions. If one were
Oh
to...
yeah, I'll kill just about anyone.
Oh,
It's true.
yes, that's what
Same,
I
yeah.
meant, yes.
Yeah.
I as well.
I think the best case of transporting this particular mirror would be to find some sort of a carriage. Make it easier to hide myself rather than just cloaking this artifact in a cloth or a blanket, but whatever you think is best.
Boreal, you
Big
work with a
sturdy
lot of
box.
some
Perhaps a
type
big sturdy
of big
box.
sturdy box. Absolutely. And I know Boreal works with a lot of doodads and doohickeys. Maybe you could say you're transporting something. Done. Easy.
Certainly, yes. I'll just say I'm bringing something home. Everyone's used to me doing that anyway. I'm very annoying.
I can vouch for that part. Yes, he is very annoying.
Perhaps as
I've
an
known
extra
him for minutes
form
and
of...
I already hate him.
Oh,
Mm.
God.
Well,
I'm
we agree
sorry,
on
L'Oreal.
something, word boy.
I'm not a boy.
She'll look up. Oh, you are something, aren't you? And she kind of gets starstruck for a second.
I am beyond boy. And I just sort of float briefly in the air, and then sort of set back down.
That's a new status I want.
I
I want a
sketched that one
shirt.
in my private notebook.
I need a t-shirt. I am
for me
beyond
to-
boy. Love it.
Perhaps as we do this adventure, we might find something that can give some sort of resistance to the damages that you're vulnerable to in this state. Does and I look around as we're in this pawn shop. Is there any sort of potions or spell scrolls that have to do with resistance to either force or bludgeoning damage?
Ooh, interesting. Roll an investigation check for me. See if you can find something.
Okay. I am the greatest wizard in the world, but for some reason I don't have that in my spell book. Oh, fuck. A 12?
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. With a 12, you're unable to find something that would give like force resistance or some sort of damage type resistance, but you do find an old relic, which has been shrunken down into sort of keychain size, which is a shield, a kinetic energy shield from one of the old Knights of Consequence.
Oh, well, not magic per se, but this relic could help us. And I show it to the group.
Fascinating.
If
Really?
we could attach
Yeah.
it to you?
I think that would be wonderful. For those that recognize what this relic might be, Boreal probably very likely, this shield absorbs like kinetic force and bounces it back. It'd be used as sort of like a projection shield, as one might use it. But in keychain form, it would be rather interesting.
I'll also just go ahead and volunteer my abilities as a interplanar warrior, a watcher paladin, and once we have the box set, I'll use a first level spell slot to cast an alarm spell. In a 20-foot radius around the box, we will know if any creature enters within that radius.
I have one other suggestion. I've had occasion to frequent this particular pawn porn shop combo on a number of occasions, and they do have a number of harnesses, swings, hammocks. What if, inside of the box, we construct a system whereby the mirror can be suspended, and therefore, even if the box is thrown this way and that, is jostled, is even falls a great distance but does not smash, the mirror will remain safely suspended in air.
That does check. Which swing do you recommend?
Oh, well. I walk over and I start pointing out specific ones. I imagine since I'm sort of a vendor through this place, I may be able to get like a deal or discount.
Yeah, definitely. Roll me a persuasion check to see if you can get Caraway to give you a discount on this.
All right. Here we go. That's a 5.
Would you like to use one of your advantages that you were gifted from Dead Aussie Gamer?
That's true. I'm going to use my advantage. Thank you, Dead Aussie Gamer. That brings it up to a 7.
Oh, my
Hold on.
lord.
I've got a loyalty card.
Oh, excellent.
Questionable.
Someone shops here a
I
lot.
love that. I've got
How
questions.
many holes are punched? Are there like holes punched on it?
She kind of high. You roll to perceive. I'm gonna roll a sleight of hand. Let's
Yeah,
see
you are.
if you can see how many holes
All
I've
right.
got. Well,
That's a
how many
28.
holes I have punched?
Yeah,
Let me-
no, you said it right the
That's a
first way.
28.
How many holes I have? Oh, I got a 6.
6 holes.
Wow.
There's a lot of holes in this sucker.
I just give you a thumbs up and I say support your local businesses.
Exactly. She'll slide it across the table.
I very quietly pick up my Fey porn pull list that I have a subscription for, and tuck it into my bag, slide my money on the counter, just retreat to the back of the room.
I love how
Can I
much
see if
this
any
is
of them are
descended.
stuff that I painted? Can I
Sure.
just like, glance and be like,
Oh,
oh, nice.
Would you mind signing this for me, please?
Aw.
When could we
It would
do
be my pleasure.
It's so
How much
awesome.
Who should I make it out to?
Mr. Barbacell, if you would.
Of course. But yeah, I write out like my cat, like Mr. Barbacell, never change. and then
Aw.
like sign my signature, which is signed in the language of my people, which it looks like whatever language you're thinking of, much like the markings on my body. It's like golden writing that when you look at it, it just changes to be whatever language you are thinking of at the moment. Or thinking in, rather.
Beautiful. I love that. It's so wholesome, weirdly. Wonderful. So, with a discount on the selected harness from said porn shop, you were able to jerry rig some sort of contraption within a box that then has an alarm around it to hold in the mirror as you transport it to the city of Kaleidoscope. Is that the plan?
Project over. Done.
As it stands?
Flawless.
Perfect. Love it.
Mhm.
So before you place or move this mirror from this office out into some sort of area to jerry rig, the Duchess will turn to each of you once more. I should also let you know, if you have not travelled to the city of Kaleidoscope before, there are some rather dangerous things that you could experience out there, not just in the fields of glass. But there are creatures and storms that could become potentially a problem for those that aren't more on the immortality scale.
I think that's none of us. So what type of creatures are we dealing with here?
Oh, no. I'm ready for this. And you'll see Perry actually pull out some of her notes in which she purposely tries to choose a bigger stack of paper than Boreal has.
I love it. Please describe to me the bigger creatures that you have taken note of in this landscape, because I'm intrigued to know what you would create or have notes about.
So here, it kind of embracing that steampunk style. It's anything from giant eagles with mechanical wings that open up to, oddly enough, like giraffes that have two heads that point in different directions, standing as guards. So that way there's no surprises front and back. No, I want to see any of the strange ones in your world, not these metallic, clicky-clacky ones that make TikTok sounds. Those aren't interesting to me, not at all.
Well, one of the most devastating creatures might seem innocent enough, but if provoked could, well, kill all of you rather quickly.
Oh, that's perfect. We can feed them some of us. That'll give us more information. Is it more dangerous than the Undine teeth monster? You know, it just rolls out and more teeth just keep going in, kind of like a weird cycle, a treadmill of teeth.
Not so much, but it depends, again, if you anger this creature or if you go into its territory. The colloquial name makes it sound quite cute. It's called a shatterpillar in some circles, but it is known as a giant caterpillar made of glass.
I thought you were going a different way with the shatterpillar thing.
Yes, that happened to me once after a barbecue. It was terrible.
So, if you come across one of those, you will surely face some devastating consequences for it, and just careful of the skies. If you see one of the storms coming from the harbinger of gust and gales, I would run rather quickly. Anything under or caught in that storm would be wiped out.
Oh, great. What does they're telling signs like the sky turns orange beforehand or something?
You'll hear the lightning and thunder before it strikes.
Well, might as well get this over with then.
Move fast.
In favor of this. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go save the day.
Who is lifting this mirror out of this office to start with? We're going to need a bunch of just checks to make this possibility. So one check from one of you to move the mirror out of this particular tightly packed office, and another for the harness situation within the box, which I would assume, depending on your style, might be ranging from a performance check with jerry rigging and some rope tying thrown in there, or maybe even a sleight of hand.
I'd just like to be the annoying companion who watches everybody else move and offers suggestions that aren't very helpful. Like when you have people moving, no, it needs to go more, tilt it, the foot stuck on the door.
It doesn't need to be tilted if I can pull it through.
You can't just pull a mirror through, you gotta just put it on its side first. She'll lay down, it'll be easy enough. Slide her in.
Oh, here you go. And I hold open the beaded curtain.
I'd like to
Thank
do
you,
the help
Dorio.
action, but by essentially the help, I just start singing in a language that no one can understand consciously, but everyone understands implicitly. And I'm essentially just singing about all of the positive aspects that I've noticed in everyone. There are no verses about Boreal, but there are verses about everyone else, and I'm just calmly singing in a very high-pitched falsetto. Tiny Tim-like falsetto that is just echoing through the porn pawn shop.
I love this so much.
So whoever has to roll the check has advantage, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
plus
Perfect,
9
perfect.
athletics. I think I'm lifted.
Okay. You're up.
Just rolling
I believe in
advantage
you,
because of the
Saul.
song, or just the one roll?
I think let's roll with advantage. Why not? I think is
Thank you
it
so
help
much.
action, right? Or is it inspiration?
Yeah. No, I'm giving the help action.
Yeah,
They may be inspired as people, but mechanically it's the help action.
I love it. Yeah, you roll with advantage.
19. The song of my glory. All right, it's lifted.
You squeeze this mirror through the door and are able to bring it out into more of an open space in order to put this thing into a box. Who is going to be rolling the performance and/or sleight of hand to jerry rig this thing? Which one of these characters knows Shibari more?
I have a
don't
plus
know what
5 to
that
sleight of
word
hand.
is.
I have a plus 5 to sleight of hand.
That's more telling than anything else that's happened on
Yeah.
this stream.
That's more than me.
You'd probably know how to tie something up. I think that's the implication we're going with here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was trained in all sorts of tying techniques in the interest of tying up, like, incursion, like, enemies.
Course.
But they come in handy in other circumstances as well. So I will, I'll look, and as I'm singing, I'll turn to all of you with sort of this questioning look that seems to imply, like, who will take up my song? And this is me saying, can someone please give me the help action? Because I only have a 5. I only have a plus 5 to this.
Biscuit, will you sing with me?
Of course.
Is this what we're doing to help them?
Yeah, we're gonna do a choir
I
ensemble.
would, but nobody sang about me. I was twiddling my little talons.
Awkward clap
Carrie's gonna be
along
like
with the
that
choir.
annoying seagull song. Wah, wah. Like just guttural dragonborn throat, and you can see the vibrations kind of come out there.
And
What would
Biscuit's
Biscuit
like
to offer?
piercing, high pitched voice, cuts through the growls every so often, kind of trying to harmonize with what Ahaniel was doing before with their falsetto.
Oh my gosh.
As,
Please roll
Hi,
the
Carlson.
performance checks. I want to see how this harmonizing is
God.
done.
Oh, yeah.
If you
I'm
roll
ready for
high
this.
enough, I'm bound to this insane.
10.
10,
Yeah, 10 and 11.
10 and 11. Okay.
Average.
Together it's 21.
I think that there's since you're so close in numbers, I think it's relatively okay. But you would never perform this live. No one would want to hear this at a open mic night or anything like that.
What are you talking about? I was just at the bar.
Yeah.
Fine.
I got a 15 on sleight of hand.
Okay, perfect. No worries at all. So you start to tie up the mirror in this sort of like makeshift suspension situation within the box so that, like you said, if the box moves or gets thrown about, the mirror within the box sort of stays stabilized at all times. That was impressive. Anyway. So you do so, and you now have a duchess within a mirror within a box. What's your plan from here?
Carriage. Can we just hail one, or do you have one we can take care away?
Okay, I have carriage, but it's costume.
Come on, we're kind of doing this as a favor already.
You
I
get
look at
paid.
his wall of all the stolen artifacts that he's clearly reselling for profit, and I just look him in the eyes with my giant eyes, just staring him down, and there's a little crackle of purple energy around my head. If you wouldn't like the authorities to come and crash through your wall, I suggest you let us borrow a carriage, friend.
Roll a intimidation check.
Okay.
Can I lean in behind and go bum ba-dum bum and try to get advantage?
That's an 18.
18 shall do it without advantage, but the bum still happens. You see as this Sata, not Sata gentleman sort of seems to shrink a little bit guilty. Not so much to actually do anything about it, but pays attention to your threatening words. Okay, I shall organize a carriage for you. Just stay here. Walks out to the front and just whistles, and immediately you see or kind of hear the clip-clopping of what initially you think are horses, but then these two six-legged beings arrive in front of you. They are kind of like a cross between a panther and a horse with 6 legs. 2 of them at the front of the carriage and a carriage behind. Enough space for 2 people to sit on the front holding reins, and the others to pile in with the box in the back.
You know,
Okay.
Boreal, you're horrifying, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Oh, thank you, my dear. I don't like to use it very often, but I'm very good at it. Thank you.
You are very good at it. Don't ever give me that look, though.
Sure thing. I'm like, and I shoot up an owl pellet that's like it's like full cat sized. Hits the ground.
Is that the size
it
of
matches
Biscuit?
my height. Yeah.
Yeah. I want it like lands right next to Biscuit. Just this cat skull looking up.
Ah,
Was that Timothy?
Wait. I didn't ask its name.
Oh,
I was hungry. Listen, when the Feywild merged with our world, everything started talking. It's really hard to know what I can eat anymore.
oh God. It's
That's a valid point.
One might attempt to practice vegetarianism.
or you might consider never eating at all. That's what I do.
Wow, I guess none of us ever thought about that, huh?
Honestly, I'm still confused as to why it's never occurred to any of you. It's the easiest way.
Yes. God, just get in the carriage. I'd like to pat the bestials in the front. Do I know what they're called? Like these panther horses? Horses?
Yeah, these horses.
Yeah.
Panorses?
The Panorses?
The Panorses are now what they're called. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, Panorses.
You could go with Panthors because there's already an H.
Yeah, the
Oh.
Panthors. Panthors.
Panthors.
Very cool. I like that a lot.
Fine. You're rather rare, aren't you? And I'd like to just maybe pet it if it seems open to it. Like I'll hold my hand out first so that way it can investigate me.
Yep.
And then, if appropriate, I will like to bow a little before petting.
Yeah, roll me an animal handling check.
I will.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage because I love the description and the respect.
Cool. Because I didn't roll very well. I'm very good.
Oh no.
Okay, it's the same number. A 10. 10.
Okay.
It's not hot. I'm warming up still today.
A 10. Not too bad. The Panthor seems to sort of regard you quite with a bit of a sneer that many a cat might do, but there is the friendliness of a horse sort of mixed in with its genealogy, and it seems to sort of like bow its head slightly towards you so that it can get scritches, but it's still regarding you with a temper.
Yes. Only scratches here. Don't worry. You're good. We will be nice, I promise. And she bows again. Oh, Panthors is so snobby. And she'll crawl into the carriage.
I love it. What order are we riding in this carriage in? So who are the 2 people at the top and who are in the carriage, just so I know?
Big ball of HP. Put me at the front.
I would like to be inside away from giant predators.
Mm.
I
So
would
would
love
the
to
Says
sit
the
mouse.
on top.
predator. Yeah.
How ironic.
Hmm.
I would like to
Okay.
sit atop the carriage so I can feel the wind in my fro.
Love it. I love that. Okay, no worries at all. We'll do. Nice.
Also, I have a 22 passive perception, so I figured that's also very useful. to
That
be,
is
like, in a high position.
very,
In addition to
useful.
not eating, do you also just not blink? Is that how this works?
I have practiced blinking because it turns out people got weirded out when I didn't. So every couple minutes I'll make eye contact with someone and then very pointedly go.
Very
That's
subtle.
And
That's not gonna weird
it's one
them
of those,
out
like,
even
loud
more.
blinks.
Ugh.
It's weirdly loud.
I don't like that. That's amazing.
You
Okay.
sometimes forget to do them at the same time, and so it's like,
Yeah.
That's skill. That's skill. I can't wink with one of my eyes. Anywho,
In fact, I'm going to say that Ahaniel is one of the people who can't wink with both eyes at once. It's the reverse. So instead of being unable to wink with one eye, they can't close both of their eyes at the same time. So they just kind of...
it's a weird level of concentration.
That is insane. I love this character. So, you all hop into this carriage and you start making your way eastward towards Kaleidoscope. This is where I'm going to have a little bit of a interesting twist here. I would like a little bit of a flashback moment from each of you of the last time that you left this city. Let's start with Boreal. The last time that you left this city.
Oh, the last time I left this city, I was in a deep underground dungeon, flew past most of the traps, disabled a few others, and I learned about a culture that worshipped mermaids specifically, and there was a large idol at the end. Took wonderful sketches of it and everything, and somebody came to try to take it, and I vomited poison on their face, stabbed them through the neck with a lance. I also drew that for posterity and left the note as a warning for anyone else who might try to come and take it. I put the head on a pike as further warning. I also I left some animal friends there to protect it in my absence, and I left pellets everywhere.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I love it. So good. What about Perry? Perry and I'm gonna maybe assume that Biscuit might have been with you. It's up to you guys. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What
Yes.
was the last time that you left the city?
A bit reluctantly, Perry will follow Biscuit. Oh, another adventure is this. Where are we off to this time on your docket? What location have we not checked?
A carnival, sure to be fun, and sure to have many a strange beast.
Fun, it's sticky and loud, and children scream all the time.
I could cast deafness on you.
Oh, yes! And almost like in a begging moment, you just see like this pure joy light up in Perry's face as she kind of falls to her knees. Please deafen me.
You got it. And like black little earmuffs go across Perry's head, and we walk hand in hand in a carnival filled with starlight as we investigate, talking to every person we come. Well, Biscuit talking to every person they come across as Perry handles the animal friends.
I love that. Absolutely brilliant. Did you find any information about your missing husband?
We confirmed that Henry was not in the carnival, but that's what actually sent us back to Vervey. We thought initially that he wasn't actually there, but we missed 2 districts, so hopefully he's perhaps back there.
Okay. Well, good thing you are heading in a direction that you have not traversed before, since you've never been to the city of Kaleidoscope. Sol, when is the last time you left this city?
I think Sol was not too far off Kaleidoscope when leaving the city. I think maybe they took a mercenary mission in one of the desert areas. So we cut to an action scene of Saul having been dispatched to get rid of a bullet infestation, those land shark creatures with 4 legs. And the first thing you see is he's like grabbing one by the tail and whipping it around at another one. You see another bullet fly at Saul. He does the shark punch and like punches its nose to disorient its senses. Sword out of the hilt, up through the jaw, divine smite, burst of golden energy, and then Saul is just lying in like a sandy field of blood and just feeling nothing physically, trying to understand their slow aging body and their abnormal toughness, one fight at a time.
That is so poetic. I love it. And lastly, Ahaniel, is that how it's pronounced?
Yes, Ahaniel.
I'm gonna get that wrong every time. I'm so sorry, but I try my best. Ahaniel. Okay. When was the last time they left this city?
So Ahaniel, the last time Ahaniel left the city, they had received yet another urgent call, and they received these urgent calls quite regularly. Ahaniel is extremely enthusiastic about doing their job, and wishes that they could have, like, because they were supposed to get here before the collide. They are desperate to do good work, and so when they got this call, they're like, yes. They set out across burning skies and earth that flows like water until they finally encountered the person that they had been sent to, the extraplanar entity that they had been sent to remove, only to discover that the extraplanar entity was actually a talking rabbit who apparently took a wrong turn at Albuquerque and needed directions. Didn't actually want to be here. And this was like the umpteenth time that it was like, I'm here to fight! And it was just like, no, it's nothing, sorry. They accidentally, like, they summoned a familiar, and, you know, some wires got crossed, and, you know, alarms went off. It's just a number of things where it's like, okay. And I feel like I've spent the last 5 years getting increasingly frustrated at that nothing I'm doing seems to matter.
Yeah.
And so that's why I dance most of the time, is to try and just let off some steam. So, like, I hear war, I hear, like, oh, there's Fae involved. Yes. So that was the last time that I left the city.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Because as you are each leaving the city in this carriage and thinking upon these moments, the audience is actually going to witness a little cutscene. As in the city of Kaleidoscope itself, a very regal, golden-haired gentleman stands before a mirror, watching these small memories play out as he observes the duration or the beginnings of your journey in this carriage towards the very city that he is standing in. Interesting. Well, let us see what we can throw at these particular individuals if they think that they will complete this mission. I have another thing for them in mind. And that is when we're going to go for a little bio break as we tuck into the greater half of the story when we get back in about 5 to 10 minutes. But AJ needs the bathroom, so I gotta call the bio break early. We'll be right back. Bear with us. See you soon.
All right.
Hello and welcome back. We have just gone on a quick little break as we are midway through this story of game number 5. This has been incredibly bizarre so far. Not the tone that Eddie, I think, of us were expecting, but perfect for this group of people, and I'm loving it. So far, we've met this eclectic mix of characters, and we've been sent on a scouting task, a delivery of a duchess back to her home city in order to not spark war between the two cities, the one you currently reside in and the city of Kaleidoscope, where the Court of Reflection resides, a Fae city that this duchess is a ruler of. Well, not this particular duchess, but her real form, not the reflection that you currently have stuck in a mirror, suspended in a box, in a carriage, protected by the 5 of you. I think I covered everything. As we continue on the journey with this carriage into the desert region, making your way east towards Kaleidoscope, I would like you to all roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh,
I am a paladin, so y'all get a little bitty bonus to that.
How big of a bonus?
Let's find out. Features and traits. What is
Equals
it again?
your charisma modifier.
That's it. Plus 3. Everyone gets plus 3.
All right. I'm rolling so bad.
Me too.
That's,
Oh no.
that's
Oh,
13.
I wish.
111.
111. And that's low. That's
Party.
low.
Amazing.
13
Dirty.
for me.
Dirty 20.
28 for Biscuit.
28
Holy
with that
shit.
bonus. Yeah.
Biscuit carrying the party right now.
Mhm.
Hey.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
the
Smallest
smallest is
member.
the wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our smallest member is shouldering the biggest load.
Oh, sorry, 12. Probably doesn't make a difference.
12. Unfortunately, it does not. Anything underneath a 14, you're going to experience something vastly different than what is happening for the people in reality, I guess is the best way to put this. So, as this carriage is moving into the desert region, you start to see, like your mind is casting an offshoot. You start to see familiar experiences that you've had the last time that you exited this city. So, who were those that rolled under a 14 again? So, Sol, Boreal, and Haniel, you three are going to experience a very strange sensation. But you don't clock what it is because you failed that wisdom saving throw. So, for Sol, as you are holding the reins of one of these, what did we call these things? Panthors.
Panthorses.
Yeah, as you were holding the reins of one of these Panthorses, you sort of pull it back and charge forward, and suddenly you turn to your left where Aharniel was sitting next to you a second ago, and instead it is one of your mercenary compatriots. And he is laughing loudly as he holds sort of a flask of ale in his hand, and he gestures to you, "You know, Sol, I like you. This is gonna be a fun mission. Taking out some belays just in the desert region. Come on, loosen up a little bit."
We've talked about this. I like you. I don't like you like you.
Okay, well, you don't have to put it like that every time. Okay,
Sorry,
well,
I'm just not ready. I'm not ready. I don't know what to say. I kind of just rather focus on the task ahead. Do I know that this? Am I like aware that I shouldn't be seeing this right now, or am I just in the zone?
you're just in a different time,
Cool.
different experience in this moment. So what's interesting about that is you are having a conversation with Ahaniel. But Ahaniel, you are having a vastly different conversation as well, as a voice comes into your mind. In your language, through the whispers of chimes and magical notes, you hear, "Ahaniel, you have done such a respectful job over the last 5 years. We want to congratulate you with an award for your bravery and your service."
Really?
Yes. Your greatness has been notified.
I mean, it's been a hard 5 years. I expected to come down here and be in all these fights and be stopping wars and turning back the tide of a great extraplanar invasion, and I've basically been giving rabbits directions and helping floofs out of trees. So this is... It really means a lot.
Yes.
And I'm saying all this in my language.
Mhm.
So anyone
Mhm.
listening, it's incredibly arousing heavenly music.
Perfect.
Oh.
Which is being sort of like replied in a strange way, like a parallel universe, to Sol rejecting the affections of said mercenary that he was on this trip with, not but a few short weeks ago on this mercenary task. So you kind of overhear this from outside of the carriage, this strangely arousing musical notes from Ahaniel, and Sol sort of meekly replying, but you're having a strange conversation yourselves inside of the carriage, as Boreal is also experiencing some sort of alternate timeline moment. Boreal, you were sent. Well, you yourself weren't sent. You went to traverse a tomb, and therefore, in this very moment, the shaking of the carriage as you travel is not you inside of a carriage, but in fact you inside of a mine shaft that is rumbling with an earthquake as a trap seems to shoot past you, and you are able to duck out of the way. You two on the other side see as Boreal ducks suddenly in the carriage.
Are you okay, Boreal?
I'm strangely aroused, but otherwise I'm fine.
The pawn shop effects must be still lingering.
You hear the whistle of an arrow go past you, the tunnel approaching, and you can see that there is more movement up ahead as the floor starts falling beneath your feet. You have the chance to jump across, leap to the ledge that would be getting you into the main chamber where this artifact was located. But I'll need you to roll me an acrobatics check, please.
All right. I fly, but I like the danger. Well, no, I don't. That's a 5.
That makes sense, because you're in a carriage. You, in all your bravery, duck and weave. With the falling floor, you leap across to this ledge, but what Perry and Biscuit see is an Alwyn smack into the back wall of the carriage. The hickledy-pickledy of the carriage seems to sort of notify both Sol and Ahaniel as you two are sort of shaken in your collective moments. Sol, some of the other mercenaries are getting drunk in the back of the transport vehicle. And for Ahaniel, I think this is actually a very different type of vision, as a few members of your family, what would be your family in the celestial world, begin to lift you in sort of a praisal moment, holding your body up, kind of crowd surfing-esque in this moment. And so the rumbling of the carriage sort of gets replicated by this in the image in your mind. But something is definitely awry.
I give over to it.
Yeah.
Oh, as I'm being lifted. So I feel that something's awry, even as I'm being lifted.
No, you get lifted. What if the Perry and Biscuit feel like something is definitely awry?
Then I give myself over to it, and my body, to anyone who would be looking at me, my body starts to like unfold. It is like to fractals of itself. So my hands start to unfold into like unlimited other hands that start to unfold into more hands, and my face, like, I just start to become an infinite fractal person as I'm levitating into the air, thinking that I'm being taken back to the celestial plane, finally revealing my true form as I'm like, I contain multitudes, and this infinite being just sort of folding out of myself.
Amazing.
It's normal angel stuff. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. It's what happens if I ever did drugs. So, instead of the fractaled hands appearing to you, you see that your compatriot seems to let go of the reins of his mount. And so you reach out and grab his, but let go of yours in the meantime, which means that in reality, both of you let go of the reins of these panthorses. And immediately, Perry and Biscuit, you can feel as the carriage starts to go in a different sort of not straight direction as Boreal recovers from smacking into the back wall. You blink and you are back in a carriage, Boreal.
Oh, I didn't remember that being so sexually exciting, but you know what? Scribble it down for later.
What?
What just happened to you? I think it's affecting other people.
I flashed back to a time I was in a tomb. I was running for a trap and I jumped and hit my head.
That explains it. You just flew across the carriage and smacked into the wall here.
That's terrible.
You're rather calm about this. Hold on. She'll stick her head out the window. What's going on up there? Boreal just had a little, what do you want to call it? A thing? A memory?
An episode? I don't know.
An episode. Do you have those often?
No, but I'm getting on in years. It's only a matter of time, I suppose.
We're okay, though.
As you
Can
look
they
out
see
the
that, like, can they see that if Haniel is just floating into the air?
Perry, roll me a perception check, please.
Let's see what we can do.
Oh no.
What?
And
What?
that one.
No.
I think you do that thing where you're having a conversation, but you're still looking at the people that you're having the conversation with on the inside.
Yeah. I keep looking at
Uh,
Boreal and Biscuit, and I'm looking like, what are you guys doing? Just shouting out the window, but keeping eye contact. An episode! Great.
And in the meantime, the transition of that not being seen by Perry means that we are rapidly approaching a cliff face. I am going to allow for Sol and for Ahaniel to roll wisdom saving throws to see if they snap out of this in time.
+3.
+3.
That is a 19 for Ahaniel.
Perfect.
24 for Sol.
Thank goodness. The two of you snap back almost instantly and simultaneously out of your visions and into the cliff face rapidly approaching you, with your panthorses not noticing as you're about to drive straight off a dip in the rock.
Grab the reins!
Oh, come on! I guess I fall out and try and grab the reins as well. Actually,
Okay.
you know what? I don't want to fall onto the reins. I want to fall onto one of the panthorses.
Okay.
And attempt to start riding, like steering it away.
I love that. Okay, no worries. Animal handling check, please, from yourself. And a dex save from Sol to see if you can grab onto the reins in time.
Absolutely. I think I probably try to grab onto both reins. Just for the effect of it. I try to, like, yank both of them.
Okay.
Dex save or... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got an 8. Or sorry, I got an 11. I have a +8 to this skill. I have rolled, almost all of my rolls have been below a 10 in this game.
Oh man.
So
I'm
that
so
was
Reminder,
sorry.
you
solid.
can donate chat to give
Yes,
the
please.
advantage.
Save me from
That
my
is
own
true.
dice, please.
You could gift advantage to any of the players. You could also gift them disadvantage,
good
wild
stats.
magic surge, all of the following.
You've
I have
done
good
all the right
stats.
things.
Yeah,
Scroll.
it's just the dice have betrayed me.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Help
why
Also,
we
them.
not
have a
sitting
full
on
party.
the Panthors.
Yeah.
I'm crouching
Help-
on the Panthors.
Ooh, I love
Help
it.
them save us.
Okay.
Yes.
Natural 20 +4 on the dex.
Oof, nice. You grab a hold of both of the reins of these panthorses as you steer them off. The skirting sort of happens at the carriage behind, and you pull up and almost like stop these panthorses just before the cliff. You look down over the edge. You see it's not a significant drop, otherwise probably the panthorses would have noticed it. But it is enough that this would have completely toppled the carriage, potentially causing harm to your friends inside and or the mirror itself.
You
In the
did it,
middle of-
Neil. You saved us.
Oh.
You and your
Oh,
driving.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was you.
Thank you. Well, I saved the day. I'm still standing on the back of the Panthors. And I stand up and put my like sort of strike a Superman pose. Just well, well done. And I sort of leap back onto the top of the carriage, and I place a hand on Sol's shoulder, and I say, I appreciate that you were here to witness it, because honestly, I feel like I've been taking a lot of L's for the past 5 years, and it's nice to get a little W. Put a little 1 in the W column.
This
And
was
I
a
reach
fat
into
dub for
nowhere.
sure.
Yeah, I reach into nowhere and take out an actual ledger, and then draw a little W next to just like a column of L's, and then roll it back up. And
Oh
put it away.
god.
In the middle of your victory, Perry's gonna kick the door open. What in the name of all that is good and waffles? And she'll take a piece of crumpled paper and throw it at you, Ahaniel, and at Sol. I was right back there. Boreal was having an episode, and Biscuits was. What were you doing, Biscuit?
Munching on dried cranberries.
Crunching on dried cranberries, and we were having a nice time, and then suddenly we get an abrupt stop. What are two drivers out here doing?
We got zooted, but not on purpose.
Zoot,
Yes.
zoot. Explain. I don't understand. You have any
There's-
idea how much more parchment I have now ruined because I scribbled all over with this abrupt stop?
I believe there may be some sort of fey enchantment magic at play. I'd like to cast around to see if I can see, like, signs of anything going on.
You may do so.
But very
please.
dramatically.
Yes, I love it.
Still blindfolded, by the way.
Please roll an
All right.
investigation check.
Investigation? Okay, great. I have a plus 12 to perception and a -1 to investigation.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But it wouldn't have mattered because I rolled a natural 5 anyway. So that's
Oh my goodness.
That's all you've ever needed.
I cast my eyes to the side and like a wet leaf just.
That
Desert? That's really
is-
impressive.
That is perfect and absolutely well timed. As this wet leaf smacks you in the face, the winds start to pick up around all of you, and you feel as more wet leaves seem to smack into the carriage itself. There is some winds brewing in the area, not thunder as of yet, but you have a time limit rapidly approaching. A storm is brewing. And you need to get to the city of Kaleidoscope before it hits. What would you like to do?
Biscuit and Gravy are gonna pop their heads out of either window of the carriage. Probably Gravy next to Perry's head, so that they're sharing one window. And we're gonna cast Haste twice on each of the Panthorses to sort of give us a little bit of a vroom start. To hopefully give us an edge as we outrun the storm.
I love that. Absolutely perfect. Does that increase double the speed of the horse? It's basically like dash action, right? With haste?
Yes, so
Yeah.
their speed doubles and they get an extra action, so they can dash and dash again.
Perfect.
With the double speed.
With
Brilliant.
absolutely no warning whatsoever, haste being cast on these two creatures, they begin to take off immediately. And you're all sort of thrown back into your positions. And with Ahaniel on the top of one of those Panthorses, you immediately sort of dragged into this as it skirts the carriage further down and rounds sort of this cliff as a curve happens in the cliff face that was sort of man-made. And you descend into the valleys of the desert region, and you see as these structures, stalagmites, seem to rise out of the ground itself, reaching up to the skies, and within these stalagmites, these giant red crystals seem to grow and manifest on the outsides. You can see them shining brightly in the sunlight, but you also know, or at least Sol might know, that those are not just crystals, but also cocoons.
Oh.
I'm definitely gonna fill in the buddies about this one.
Okie dokie. What would you like to tell them? Oh yeah, exposition cantrip.
Whatever else might be known about the cocoons.
Perfect. Yes. So you have seen these before, and people of the mercenary missions have mentioned that they are cocoons. But now that you've heard of what a shatterpillar is, you assume that maybe they have some sort of state that they grow into, the same way a caterpillar would.
And now that you're all caught up, we know we should be aware of these cocoons.
I would like to, as we're like riding along all these huge Shatterpillar cocoons, I would like to see if I can either hear evidence of them about to hatch, or if I can discern what state of development these are in, so I can know how imminent the danger might be, or if indeed they are being defended by some sort of parental figure.
Ooh, okay, perception check.
Something I'm good at.
You're welcome.
Don't speak
Weirdly,
too soon.
my passive perception is still better than this, but I got a 19.
Okay, perfect. I just kicked the desk. Ow. So,
Oh no!
with a 19,
Injury.
just like the very weak point of the knee as well.
Oh.
Ouchies.
Roll a d4 for damage.
Okay. No. So, You, with a 19, that's absolutely the perfect. You look up to perceive what you can with these cocoons. They don't seem to have some sort of parental figure, but as you're looking up, you can indeed see that there is movement within the crystals. There's some sort of being that is gestating inside and sort of churning around in the crystals themselves. And as you bypass and the sunlight sort of filters through them, you can see the horrifying shape of whatever these things might become, being incredibly insectoid in nature. Some sort of moth-like dragon.
I would like to then cast a spell if possible. Well, here's my question.
Okay.
Did Sol tell us what category, species category, Shatterpillars count as? Are they considered beasts, essentially?
My intelligence is +0. I don't know if I would know that.
You can roll a Arcana or Nature check if you'd like.
Okay. Both are -1. Let's see how it goes. It's a natural 1, -1. So that's a 0. That's a 0.
Okay.
I don't know, I assume.
You definitely
really need some
don't know.
intelligence.
Help them, they're stuck.
Please.
You assume I think you would assume that these are beasts in nature. Because they're related to a caterpillar and they're really big and dragon looking. That's the best assumption you could make.
Okay, then I'm going to, if they're I'm gonna try a couple of things. What I'm gonna do, they're all gonna happen really one after another. So I'm going to touch a few key points on my body, specifically where like the markings are, and you'll see like those areas light up and glow even brighter than the rest, and sort of rise up off of my body, sort of like a matrix cocoon that surrounds me, and I begin to take on the appearance of like sort of me, but surrounded by like golden butterfly shape. And I will cast Speak with Animals on myself and attempt to like start speaking soothing words to them. But they also look kind of, you said dragon-like? You said they look dragon-like? I will alternate between normal like animal speech and then draconic. Because I speak a lot of languages despite my -1 to intelligence. I'll also speak draconic to them. And then I'll throw in some Sylvan, because why not?
Okay.
Just in case.
What pray tell is Ahaniel saying to these creatures?
I say, rest easy. We mean you no harm. There is no reason to emerge. It is not yet your time. Rest, sleep. Allow your bodies to complete their change. Soothe. But it all comes out as just a beautiful song.
Just in case they wake them up, I'm casting Aid on 3 of us right now. +5 temp HP to me, Ahaniel, and Biscuit.
Spread it out.
Okay, I like
Harry's
it a lot.
falling asleep to this lullaby.
Nice.
Snoring, drooling.
I will need Ahaniel to roll me a persuasion check, please.
Okay.
Are you a cleric?
We have a +3 to this. Can we get a good roll? We didn't get a good roll, everyone. That's a natural 4 for a 7.
As this happens, Biscuit has a moment of "That's so Raven," looking off in the distance as I use my 19 portent roll on you, Ahaniel.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
My goodness.
Brilliant.
That is absolutely perfect. You do, however, see one of them as you encourage them to finish their transition through song form is beginning to crack open, not at a drastic rate, but it is definitely beginning to emerge because it's time. It's time to awaken. It is finished its transformation. The others, however, are lulled perfectly to sleep in this moment as you continue driving this carriage at a hasted pace through the desert sands of this region. As you move...
I hold up a finger, it's crackling with energy. Should I just take care of it?
Sure, why not?
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it. I have a 300-foot range on mine. I got 3 beams I can slap it with. I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to give it a chance to like unfurl its wings and have a chance to fly off. I'm gonna knock this sucker down.
Go for it.
Yeah. So
Spawn
from the window of the
killing.
carriage,
Wow.
it was just pew pew.
It seems like a good idea.
13 to hit.
13
one
will
of
hit the cocoon, yeah.
All right. So that one is that's 9 damage.
Okay.
I shoot another one. That's a crit.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
That's
If
14
you do this
damage.
right, so we don't regret this.
And then the next one is a 22 to hit. And far less impressive, 4 damage.
Okay. Very, very nice. You completely destroy the cocoon from this hatchling, and from that destruction emerges the awakened beast within. It has taken a little bit of force from the broken shards of the crystal cocoon, but it begins to unfurl its crystalline glass wings that seem to spread out in these arcs. And what you see before you is the combination of a moth and a dragon. Its maw sort of stretching out into a big lazy yawn, but as it clamps its jaw back down, its eyes train on your carriage. It is pissed that you destroyed its beautiful awakening ceremony with the shining crystal that it was meant to hatch from in a slow and peaceful manner. And not only that, with the destruction of said crystals falling to the ground in this area, you hear as others begin to
Oh no!
crack
We're
and
like an
crumble.
alien right now.
What
All
have
the
we
eggs
done?
are hatching.
That's not what I
Mistakes were
intended. I'm
made.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen,
Okay.
sometimes you're the zooted and sometimes you're the zooter, and you just roll with the punches.
It's
Oh,
about
my
time
gosh.
for me to mention that haste is only lasting for a minute, and I think our Panthorses are gonna be exhausted for this turn because it's definitely been a minute.
Mhm.
Oh
At-
no.
At the very sudden slowing, I would like to crash through the glass of the windshield and then like unfurl my own wings and just fly up to face the danger I've created.
Please do so, and please roll initiative as 3 of these moth dragons emerge from the cocoons and
God.
face you.
Everyone
I'm
gets
plus-
+4 to initiative
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
because
With
I'm
a
a water
plus-
pal.
I'd like to say with a +9, I got a 10.
Oh no.
Oh my
What's
This
your
is phenomenal.
Dex,
My
Hanyo?
dex is 5. I have a +5
Okay.
to dex. A +9 for
you-
that score.
You beat the tie because I'm also a 10, so I'll be 9.
Okay.
Well, we know none of us are going first, so that's great. This is fine. This
Okay.
is
Oh
fine.
boy.
Boreal,
Look at
that's a 25 for
I'm switching
yourself.
dice.
Nice jail.
Same.
Straight to jail.
What did Soul end up rolling, sorry?
A dummy thick 7.
Hi.
Dang.
Love it. Okay, Perry was 13.
Lucky.
Biscuit, did you say you're a 9?
Yes.
Okay.
Boreal, we might just leave you here since you're feeling so bold. The rest of
I've
us
earned
are
it.
running. You started as you finish it.
I thought I was helping. It was waking up. I just didn't want it to. I just underestimated the cocoon part. I'm sorry.
And so you thought what? Let me just rip this off?
I thought crush it all together, smush it inside its little casing.
Did you think though? Did you say that like you said you thought, but I don't think you really thought this.
Here's a secret between you and I. I'm not very smart. I'm very stupid. I'm very stupid. If I were to rank my intelligence, I'd put it at a -1.
And with that, you are first up in initiative, Boreal. What would you like to do?
How far away is this thing?
Well, since your Panthorus has slowed down quite a bit, you're about 100 feet from this. The first
Sick.
one, at least.
I fly 10 feet forward, keeping my distance at 90 feet. I'm going to cast Uvard's Black Tentacles. So it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Or
DC?
take 3... Oh, sorry. I mean, yeah, there is one. That's a good question. 15.
Oh, okie dokie. Well, that was a nat one.
Oh,
Ooh.
So it's going to be wrapped up in those tentacle bad boys.
Yes, it's going to take damage and it will be restrained.
Okay.
So it's gonna take 15 bludgeoning as these tentacles just
Oof.
erupt out of the earth and just grip it and wherever they can and
Nice.
hold them still.
I assume the tentacles like burst out from one of the stalagmites as this thing is sort of
sure.
up in the air, and it grabs it and sort of pulls it back into the pillar itself.
Yee.
You hear as
Uh,
this causes the other two to roar out with this deafening screech behind it. Anything else
And
you'd
that's
like
about
to?
all I've got.
Absolutely
Help.
perfect.
I'm holding it down. Kill it.
So I have rolled the initiative for the dragon moths, and the one that you wrapped up in the tentacles, it's still able to use its mouth, and so it is going to, instead of targeting you, since you're a little far away and it's restrained at this moment, it's going to blast what you see as lightning straight across to damage one of the other cocoons and release more of its siblings.
Love it.
Perry, you are up next. What would you like to do?
On this end. Are you kidding me? Harry, let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna go ahead and wild shape.
Nice. What are you wild shaping into?
Let's do this on end. So I'm gonna frame it as a giant poisonous snake. But instead it's gonna be what we call a wallen, which is of similar size, but of a worm. But think of the texture of like the same texture as a turkey neck
Oh.
sort of thing. So kind of gross and extra. I guess if you don't like turkey neck, think like of a testicle.
No, you
kind-
said giant worm with turkey neck, and I thought foreskin. So yes, got it.
Yes.
Gross
very
looking
much
worm.
so.
Got it.
Yes. But it's a colossal, like, worm of sorts with a mouth that can move to any part of its body. Like, it just, like, the whole skin slides across the actual meat of the creature. So that's a wallen. And it'll turn to face
course.
these beans. Yeah, I'll take one of the smaller...
Okay.
Let's choose the shatter pillars to the side, and I'm going to try to bite.
Okay, go for it.
21 to hit.
21 hits as you chop down. Also, Shara's right. Sorry to all those foreskin owners. You're not gross. Everyone is uniquely beautiful in their own way. Turkey neck skinned worms, however, I'm a little detested by.
It's also different when you see it on a mass scale, I think is also just like...
Any skin when seen at that size is going to be very alarming.
You can see like all like the pores, the individual cells splitting as massive as this is. It's a great biology lesson.
Gross. Okay.
Great. The target must also make a DC 11 Constitution, or it's going to take some poison damage.
Ooh,
so it's going to take 8 points of bite damage. But these worm teeth,
Okay, it rolled a...
which are not sharp teeth. Think like human teeth still.
It rolled a 16 on the dice.
All right.
Unfortunately.
All right, so it will take half damage then on the poison.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 points of poison damage.
Nice. It sort of screeches back this new hatchling, recently born out of these crystals, is immediately life is torment, and just screeches out with this coal, and you hear as the ricochet across the cliff faces and stalagmites around you seems to sort of ricochet with this painful screech of this creature. It doesn't like what you just did to it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Ahaniel, you are up next.
Okay. So how many? There are 4 currently.
There are
and
3 currently. 1 just got its cocoon blasted to sort of join in a round.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so it hasn't fully joined.
Correct.
Oh boy. So these creatures, do I get the impression that 'cause I was hoping I have a passive insight of 18. I'm hoping that I can get at least that's enough for a vibe. Do these things seem like they're just aggressive in general, or more just they're just like cranky, you know, like alarmed, freaked out? They're newly hatched Shatterpillar moths. Is it like basically my thinking is are we fighting people that are things that want to destroy us, or are they just like, I'm upset? Like, what's the vibe?
More of the latter, and as you're warned from the Duchess about the Shatterpillars in their the worm-like form, they are vastly territorial.
Oh, okay. So getting ourselves out of here might be a good idea. Then.
Could help, yes, for sure.
Oh, wish there was some way to do that. Okay. Are there any plant? Is this? I know we're kind of in a desert, but deserts can still have plants in them sometimes. Are there a lot of plants around, or is it just sort of like we just chilling?
It's mostly rock formations. This is an area that is frequently churned up and galed upon by the Harbinger of Gust and Gales, the Storm God. It does not have a lot of greenery and growth in this area.
All of my cool abilities are utterly useless. I think, okay, I will then attempt to communicate with these things that they should leave us alone. And I will do that by showing off a threat. So it's sort of a threat display, if you will. I will once again, with like this sort of radiant butterfly, like golden floating butterfly thing around me, I will then touch my shoulders and unfurl even more, like as if I'm connecting to the lines on my body. As my fingers and thumbs trail away, you can see the golden lines through the air, and as I pull them away, they stretch and form a huge pair of glowing radiant angelic wings. Not even pair, multiple like sets of wings on either side. Huge angelic wings, we'll say covered in eyes, why not? And I will activate my Radiant Soul ability as a bonus action. Basically, I now have a flying speed equal to my walking speed. And I'm now surrounded by heavenly radiance. And the song of my people is echoing through the air. And I will then reach down, touch my legs, and from one leg I draw some of the golden lines that form a long bow. With the other hand, I pull off a long golden celestial arrow. There is no string on the bow; it's just sort of an arc in the air, and I knock the arrow into the bow, and I want to aim for the one that looks the most aggressive. Currently.
Okay. Probably the one shooting lightning out of its face that's wrapped in tentacles. Yeah.
That was the one I was
I think that's probably the most pissed off one out of all of them.
Okay, I was imagining that one might be the big troublemaker here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I am going to aim some shots and fire twice at this person.
Go for it.
Well, not person. This large caterpillar.
Yeah.
So
Moth dragon.
The moth dragon. That is a 17 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, and that's going to be 12 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
And then that is going to be a 12 to hit with the second attack.
That will miss.
Okay. So the first one hits, second one misses, but I'm then going to fly over next to that one. And I believe it's at the end of my turn. Let me see. Once on each of my turn. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to fly over next to it. It's when I hit it with an attack or spell, I can deal additional radiant damage. So the one that I hit it with, that one will explode into even more radiance. I'll take another 4 damage.
Ooh, nice.
16
okay.
damage instead.
Perfect. Absolutely wonderful. As you do so, you see that one of the smaller moth dragons does not like that you are attacking its sibling, and sort of rears back and is going to immediately breath its lightning attack towards you. I will need you to roll a dex saving throw, please. Ahaniel.
Okay. I have a +9. Let's see what I end up with. It's an 18. We got a halfway decent roll, everybody.
Nice.
Halfway decent.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that. I was reading chat for a split second.
18.
18. Okay, perfect. You dodge out of the way as lightning arcs up across the ground, and you see that it immediately sort of hits one of the wheels of the carriage that was behind you as it sort of aimed in your direction. It misses all of you, and this moth dragon sort of flaps its wings and moves back in a sort of a defensive stance, crawling out across the landscape, and you feel the rumbling once more, and the small sounds, not as drastic as before, but the small cracking of more, potentially joining the fray if needed. Your instincts to run might come in handy if you continue to wail on these things and they call for more backup. So
I would like to then, at the end of my turn, fly 60 feet or fly 30 feet forward.
okay,
My walking speed, I'll fly 35. Excuse me, I'll fly 35 feet forward.
forward towards the creatures.
No, away.
Okay.
Try to get out of this area.
Run out of. Yeah, cool. No worries at all. Next up, Biscuit.
As folks are beginning to head forward, I'll just shout out, I have very little legs! I'm gonna have to stay in the carriage! And I'm gonna cast Sickening Radiance, matching where the area that Boreal cast the tentacles, so that creatures within a 30-foot radius of that spot have to do a Constitution save, or they're going to start taking levels of exhaustion, hopefully slowing them down as we run away.
Nice. Okay.
So I need con saves for that 30-foot radius.
What is the DC for that one?
17.
My God, I rolled a nat 20. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
That's okay.
Do you have a portent roll?
I do, but technically you're supposed to do it before the DM announces the roll, so I'm not gonna.
I mean, I will allow it if you want it, if you would like to take that option.
Sure.
Okay.
They get a 9 on the die. I don't know what they add to it, but.
Yes. Okay, so that is a total of 13.
Okay, so then it will fail. It'll take 1 level of exhaustion as well as some radiant damage here. I'm just rolling 19 points of radiant damage.
Oof, nice. Okay.
As it begins to glow, and this greenish glow stays in the area, mixing in with the black tentacles, and it should be able to stay up for 10 minutes.
Okay. Perfect. This is sort of a very terrifying situation for all of you, as that in itself causing again another roar from this dragon moth. You all feel as those light trembles that were happening seem to escalate quite quickly as you feel an eruption build from below you. Something is emerging from the ground. It is not here yet, but it is large. We are moving on to Soul. What would you like to do?
Yeesh. All right. Well, didn't like that revelation. Are we moving? Is the carriage moving?
No. Well, the carriage is moving, yes. The creatures are starting to move towards you. The Panthorses are just slow. Now that they're exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could start chucking javelins. I feel like it might be more impactful to use my bonus action to Wrathful Smite on my sword, start to make it glow with golden energy, and just hold my action. As soon as something pursuing us enters melee range, whether it's them or whatever the fuck is coming up from the ground, I'm gonna make a swing. And if I hit, it's frightened. So that's what I'm holding on to.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Then one of the other dragon moths is going to fly towards all of you, arcing down in a big swoop. It is going to try and use its lightning to sort of course up against all of you in the carriage. So I'm going to I guess, who is piloting? Who is commanding the Panthorses at this moment in time? Since I believe Ahaniel moved off to sort of fly. I think it's only Sol at the front at the moment.
I guess I'm holding my sword in one hand and the reins in the other.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to need you to conduct a dexterity saving throw for the entire carriage as you sort of manipulate the reins to one side.
With my dex?
Mm-hmm.
Friends, that is a natural 1.
Ah!
Okay.
I don't have any more of those portents, do you, Shar?
I don't. I only have 2 at this level. I will ask though, did it have to fly through the 30-foot radius sphere? Because if it does, it will take some damage before coming.
I will, you know what I will do? I'm going to roll my dice. If it is an even number, it sort of checked on its bigger sibling before going towards you, which means it did. And if I roll an odd number, then it went straight towards you and sort of avoided that spot. So let me give you a chance that it potentially did. I rolled a 10. It did. It dives to sort of do a quick check of its sibling to see if it's okay and goes straight into that zone that you created, allowing you guys not to all be hit with lightning, especially the carriage carrying this mirror. So that is a con save, is it, to enter that?
Yes. DC
Right.
17.
Okay, it rolled a 16. So,
Okay, so it takes
fails.
27 radiant damage
Ooh.
and 1 level of exhaustion, so it has disadvantage on ability checks,
Okay.
which are not attack rolls, just so we're clear.
Perfect. As you do so, you see that a big chunk of its glass or almost crystalline wing gets hacked off, or not hacked off, but sort of like disintegrated in this moment. It sort of drops to the floor. It screeches out again, and the rumbling continues from underneath the ground as you are all getting as far out of dodge as you possibly can in these rounds. We're back to the top of the round. Boreal, you also jumped out of the carriage, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm flying. I'm backing up using my wings. I understand what everyone's trying to do now, so I'm trying to get the hell out of Dodge. But while these things are still blasting at us, I want to try and take as much out of the one that is all bound up as I can, because he seems to be the loudest. And as I'm getting further away, the only thing I can hit him with is Eldritch Blast. So I go again.
Okay.
26 to hit.
Hits.
All right. The second one is a crit. I'll roll that damage now.
Oof. Nice.
So 15 plus. 14 damage. And then my third one to hit will be 25 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Sweet. And then 7.
Nice. Still really, really good. You watch as this thing looks like it's being it's so close to just completely crumbling from these attacks. It is Crystal is lopping off this thing, falling down as it's wrapped up in these tentacles, and it is struggling. In this moment, you can feel once again as wet leaves seem to smack into the cart. A storm is brewing as from beneath the ground, calling out, this gigantic glass caterpillar emerges out of the ground itself and slams back down onto the ground. You feel as the shards of the glass, the spikes all around this ginormous thing, starts shattering or spreading out into the air. I will need you all who are flying, so Boreal and Ahaniel and Sol, who is driving this thing but also holding that attack, to quickly make me a dexterity saving throw as these shards starts flying towards you.
23.
23, you're fine.
26.
Nice.
There we go.
We got a
13.
good roll.
Oof.
I got
Okay.
Sorry, Boreal.
But I'm gonna use my banked Derasi Gamer reroll that I haven't
Nice.
touched yet.
Okay, nice.
Smart.
That is smart.
Oh, that's so much worse. 9. Oh, goodbye.
Aussie, why?
Was it a reroll or an advantage?
It was
I thought he gave us.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, advantage.
So you can-
Advantage. So
keep your
13. Lovely.
Not sure if that still helps, but
No.
Okay, what was it in total?
13.
13. Unfortunately, you are going to get grazed by one of these glass shards as it sort of spurts out towards you and sort of clips one of your wings. So you are going to lose sort of like a few of the feathers on the bottom of your wing, and you're going to take a few points of damage from that. It didn't hit you fully, but it will still cause
do
you
you get that
significant.
paladin aura still? Is that close enough with soul?
You're kind of flying around. You need to be within 10 feet of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's +3.
Yeah, no, I'm further
Yeah.
up. Than
You're going to
Okay,
take
okay.
9 points of damage as this thing spikes to the bottom of your wing.
Oh, hellish rebuke. Ha 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 ha.
Nice.
Nice.
Ha ha ha.
Do it.
So it's got to make a Dex 15 saving throw. please.
Okay, it's probably not going to make that. Nope, fails that. It is a big-ass beast. It cannot move out of the way very easily.
Awesome. So that is. Oh wait, how many do I get? I'm at a higher level these days. Heck yeah! All right. So that's gonna be 11 plus. Oh no, math. Go away, screen.
Million damage. Wow. Just
21. Excuse me.
Bless you!
21 damage.
21 damage. Nice. Okay. Oh boy. Nice. This thing is angry.
And sorry to interrupt. Did its massive form happen to emerge within melee range of my held melee strike?
You are on the carriage?
If not, if it didn't pop out next to the carriage, that's totally fair.
Yeah, it sort of emerged from the ground and is it's a decent cup of like 50 feet from you. As you're sort of taking off in this carriage. Yeah, so it didn't get into melee. Would you like to still try and like throw this thing? Your weapon? It's not one of the javelins though, is it?
It's also melee range that the Wrathful weapon, so don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Okay. Not a problem. With that, and someone mentioned that if a creature enters the tentacle area, it has to make a dex save and take the damage and be restrained. So is that in regards to the other one that dipped into the tentacle range as well? Okay, cool. I will do that because I like to be fair and honest with that. But it rolled a 17 on the dice, so I don't think it's going to be restrained by this tentacle. No worries at all. Okay, Perry,
Good catch, friends. Thank you.
you are up.
Harry, as this giant Wolin still.
Yep.
I'll be chasing after the carriage, but I would like to just basically work as a shield behind this carriage.
Okay. So you're going to
gonna
sort of block the shield from anything coming its way. Perfect. Are you going to attack anything or just sort of move
I'm
yourself
gonna hold
back
my
into...
action.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold my action in case something appears in front of us as we're trying to get around, but I'm gonna protect our butts.
Okay, and what is your held action going to be?
I'm gonna hold my bite.
Okay, not a problem at all.
Something's close enough. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, now with the tentacles, does the creature get a opportunity to try and get out of these things?
Yeah, so if it's starting its turn there, it'll take the damage, and then it has to use its action to try to escape with either a strength or a dex check.
Okay, perfect. So it's going to take the damage first. So what would that damage be?
8.
Okay, it immediately dies. I thought it might be able to get out and then continue on, but not at all. That 8 just tips it over the edge, and you watch as almost as though the light within the crystal moth dies out, and you watch it sort of its maul, its dragon-like face lop to the side. This thing is completely ripped of its like essence, its crystalline animation, whatever these things are, whatever life force they have, not blood, it's crystal and light, but it seems to go out in this moment.
What a shame. Beautiful creature.
You started all of it.
Continue on your way.
I just love this so much. Okay, perfect. Then in that case, Ahaniel is up next.
Okay, so we've taken out one, but we now have the added issue of the huge Shatterpillar
Shatter
emerging
Daddy.
near us.
Mhm.
Shatter Daddy. Okay, well then, what I'm going to do is, there's not that many things I can do really,
No.
except try and okay, I have the most overall mobility, and our goal here is to save the Duchess.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think what I'm going to do is, can I do this? I think I can. Yeah, this actually sounds like an interesting plan.
Okay.
So I don't like destroying all of these things, but I do want to distract as many of these beings as possible. So what I'm going to do is, using my Horizon Walker magic, I once again touch a few key spots on the lines of my body, and my entire body starts to blur, and I cast haste on myself, just like vibrating with the energy of all the different planes, and the song now goes double time. And I'm going to having cast haste, I'm then going to fly up 70 feet into the air, and then I'm going to cast light on myself. These are in fact moths. I'm going to fly 70 feet up and cast light on myself. And that, I believe, I haven't used a bonus action. I don't know if I have any good bonus actions for this, except to try and get higher. Actually, I do have bonus actions, I believe, that let me get higher. Let me see. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, I thought I had one that let me teleport. I guess not. I just fly.
Just 70 feet up.
70 feet up into the air and start glowing even brighter.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to roll for these moth creatures. Yep, for sure. Absolutely. Okay, and the one that is sort of cracking out of its cocoon seems to start to not power down, but be lulled by this moment. So the two remaining are attracted immediately to the light that is your body, and start to on their turns going to make their way towards you. You've caused a significant enough distraction to the shadow moths, to the moth dragons, but this Shatterpillar is still starting to sort of bore its way towards you all through the ground itself, and you can hear the howling of winds starting to pick up in the area. The second of the moth dragons is now going to dip towards you all. It doesn't have its lightning ability. That can't happen every round. So instead, it's going to dip down and trying to bite the nearest person to it. Boreal, are you still flying in the air? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
I would like to regroup with the group by the wagon. I figured the new goal is to get the hell out of Dodge.
Oh, okay, so you did regroup with the others. So does that mean that the first party member in contact is going to be the turkey skin worm?
Probably. Yep.
Okay, the Wallen. No worries. So this dragon, moth dragon, sees this worm, knowing that it bit it before, is going to immediately charge down towards you and do a bite attack across your skin. It remembers you. That is a 17 to hit.
A 17 does hit.
Okay. And it's going to do a second attack with its claws, its crystalline claws digging into your skin at the same time. That is an 18 on the dice.
That will hit as well.
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Okay. You are going to take 9 points of damage from the bite.
Okay.
And a total of 11 points from the two claws digging into you. So 20 points of damage all up from this beast.
Okay, so I will take away the 11 of that. So I will no longer be wild shaped. And you said 20? points
Yeah.
total. So 9
Yes.
to me directly. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. You hear Perry kind of yell out a little bit as she begins to stumble back into her form, is now just running in panic after the carriage at this point.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Keep going, I'll catch up.
Brilliant. Biscuit, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Biscuit is going to hold their action. I'm going to cast haste on our Panthorses, but I'm gonna wait for Perry to catch up to us so that we
Okay.
don't leave her in the dust.
Perfect.
I do have a
Follow
question.
the trail.
I do have a question though. I believe I made a mistake earlier in that I don't think you can upcast haste.
Oh, okay.
So I think it can only affect one creature. Would that still help us in this situation, or is this not a good idea?
One Panthorse is running faster than the other.
You know what? I will make the Panthorses psychically linked so that your decision earlier made sense. Because I don't want to retrospectively say that you can't do that. So let's just say, for the sake of expediency and also just logic, rather than quite casting haste on one of the Panthorses, you can do both because of their psychic link.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
also upcast it to kind of balance that effect too.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna stay by them, and I'm looking behind me, and as soon as Perry hits that carriage, I'll touch them.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Awesome. Soul, you are up.
Seems like the beasties are pretty far away. I still don't think chucking javelins is our best option, so I'm gonna try to get Perry to the carriage. I
Okay.
have a rope by default. I'm gonna try to lasso Perry.
Okay. I love this. Okay. Now
I'm wanting to be lassoed. Like I make myself like more like an easy pole to like hook into.
Yeah. You're willing to be lassoed. So, would there be a lasso check? I feel like this is an
Athletics,
attack,
I'm
but
pretty-
they're gonna let you do it. So maybe like advantage.
Okay.
If it
sure.
was like a whip or something, it would be very, very similar. You're
Yes.
using the rope to sort of like capture something.
You do. I
Yeah.
can see either athletics or sleight of hand as you're using like
Yeah, for sure. You can
Yeah,
use
like,
athletics
there's
if that
hand
works.
movement in it.
For sure. Okay, so with advantage, it is an 8 plus 9 though. So
Okay.
17. I'm got them in one. Got the reins of the Panthorses in one hand, the lasso in the other. Ooh, I yank Perry with all of my strength to try to get her to the wagon.
Absolutely
Try to get around
brilliant.
the waist area rather than anything
Okay.
strangling.
Yeah, for
Appreciate
sure.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm gonna feel that later. Oh,
Oh
Perry getting
boy.
eaten. Sorry.
But
No,
you are indeed
What?
in the wagon, which will trigger the held action by Biscuit. Haste on those Panthorses. At the same time, after Soul's turn, the third of these moth dragons goes on their turn and is going to fly up towards the brilliantly lit up Ahaniel. So it is going to sort of try and reach out to you and grab on with its talons, kind of like hug you. It likes the light. It wants to touch it. It is, like you said, a moth. So it is going to launch an attack towards you with its claws, unless you have anything to dodge out of the way with this.
I do not believe I have any reactions.
Okay.
Just that my AC has gone up because of the haste.
Oh, nice. Okay. That is a 19 to hit.
A 19 does in fact hit. My AC didn't go up that
Oof.
high, sadly.
Okay. Okay, that is 8 points of damage with these talons as they sort of grip into you. It's happy with a shiny new toy. It's a newborn, and you're a bright little light that it wants to play with. So it's gonna grip on with its talons and sort of like try and pull you back towards its siblings to showcase what it has found. So
Okay.
I will get you to, since you have wings, this will be sort of like a semi-grapple check. So I'll get you to roll a strength to see if you can sort of get out of these rather than be like grappled by this creature.
If we called it a dex save, could I try
Yeah.
and just sort of like float? Yeah, try and flip out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I maintain concentration on haste.
Okay,
I did
that's good.
succeed on my concentration check.
Okay.
And I have advantage on dexterity saving throws
Mhm.
because of the haste. So that's going to be a 29, natural 20 for 29.
Woo! Natural 20. We honor those
I got a good
here.
roll. Another good roll.
Add
We
that
love
to your
it.
W list.
I just pulled out
Another
a
win.
add a little W.
Number 2.
This is important note taking.
It's been a rough
2 in
5
one
years,
day?
y'all.
Brilliant, brilliant. You're able to sort of duck and tumble out of this, fly back towards your friends as the creature sort of screeches out slightly, upset that it's lost its new toy. And the Shatterpillar is going to continue on with its path, charging, sort of boring through the dirt towards all of you. I will need who is at the back of the carriage, do you think?
Me, because I just like
You
scooped
just
up to the back of it.
rejoined.
I'm facing
Yeah.
out, yeah.
Okay, so this Shatterpillar is going to open its toothy maw made of like splintered glass shards inside of its mouth and try and chomp down onto you. Oh, you are so lucky. That is a 12. So it just misses you as the Panthorses are casted haste on. You watch as almost comedically the chomp happens, and you get pulled out of the way of the chomp. You see the tooth itself starting to come down on you, and you avoid it narrowly as you take off with the carriage and these Panthorses. Ahaniel joining back to you as flying as fast as you can. You are darting off with this, but only for a minute, as this haste lasts a minute. You do also hear the churning of the storm. You are getting further and further away, but this Shatterpillar is going to keep following you. You're out of initiative, but you can hear it far off in the distance, still following your trail. Is there anything else you would like to do to maybe distract it from following your carriage?
In that brief moment right before the speed up when it's biting at me, because I'd like to smack it within range with another tentacle I've got, Tentacle of the Deeps, where if I hit it, I'll slow it down.
Okay.
And since it was right there, I want to be able to knock it pretty good. So let me see.
I
22 to
would
hit.
like
22, we'll do that. Yes, go for it. What is is there damage with that?
Yes, it's 2d8 cold damage, which is 12 damage total, and now I
Ooh.
believe it is slowed by its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay, nice. That is good. Ahaniel, you wanted to do something?
Yes, as we're being followed by this thing, I would like to see if if I search to the other planes, could that help us? And I would like to activate my what is it called? My detect portal ability. And once per short rest, as an action, I can detect the distance and direction to the closest planar portal within 1 mile.
Ooh, okay, interesting. I'm gonna just roll actually a percentile to see if it is in your area. There is one in this region. I just don't know if it's in 1 mile of you. So let's have a look. Okay, yeah, 92%. It is definitely in your area.
Yes.
So it is pinging in your the radius of you immediately. It is surprisingly close to you since you rolled with a 92% in that. About 50 feet ahead of you, there's another drop in the cliff, and on the underside of that, there is some sort of portal to another plane. You don't know what it is, as you can't see it beyond the cliff face, but apparently there's something located there.
Okay. I turn to my compatriots and say, look, it's a risk, but I believe it's one we should take. If we go off that cliff, there is a portal that will take us to another plane of existence. And I believe that we could then find our way back closer to our destination. Or at the very least, escape this thing.
Yes,
This is
I'm
very
in.
bad.
As
On
soon as you
board,
say
I
escape
unfurl
this
my
thing.
wings.
Go.
Hold on
all the
tight,
way.
everybody.
Never
Ah!
tell me the odds!
I was
Oh.
just about to like. I had a calculator out and was like,
Yep,
oh,
these are the odds. These are the. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, perfect. Well, as you lead the carriage off of this cliff, you're just going to dive off of the cliff into whatever this thing is?
Yep.
That's the plan?
Sounds good.
Yep,
Happily.
piloting the Panthorses in as
Okay.
safely as possible.
Okay. You know what? Narratively, love this. I've no idea where the hell we're going, but I'm going to roll at a little table and see which plane of existence you're going to be spouted out of. So you immediately sort of charge these hasted Panthorses off a cliff. And as soon as you do so, you see below you what doesn't look to be a portal, but you know it's there. It's registering to you. And as you get closer to the ground, you can see that the sand around it is soft. It looks like it is a sinkhole of some kind. And you immediately sink into the sand, into the desert, and are transported to another plane of existence. I'm going to roll on a table to see which one we head to.
9 hells. 9 hells.
Oh god.
Why? Why would you curse us with such a wish?
No,
I'm kind of hoping it's
fake.
Feywild.
Yeah, that'd be
Let's
appropriate.
just fully embrace it instead of the partial. Let's go all in.
Not the elemental plane of water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
What's that face?
Okay,
May
there's
not have thought
so
this
many.
through.
Okay. Ready. Let's have a look.
Yep.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. You didn't end up in one of the elemental chaos ones where you're not able to breathe. So that's great.
Good. Good.
I love that. Breathing's like a hobby of mine.
Okay, I will need one of you, please, to roll a d4. You can choose amongst yourself who that may be.
I don't trust
Uh,
Jeremy's dice. But
Yeah,
Go,
I don't
go
think.
Yeah,
for it.
no.
Yeah.
Julie.
I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
roll the,
Yes.
I'll roll the big one. This is the
Okay.
biggest D4 I have.
D4.
It's beautiful.
That's a 3.
Okay,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Sounds great.
so, as you emerge on the other side of this portal, you find yourselves in a darkened landscape that looks very much like the Feywild, except completely shadowed and inky black in nature. There are these glowing sprouts of mushrooms off in the distance that is your only light source as you find yourself in the Shadowfell, a very twisted sort of landscape ahead of you, the gnarled tree arms sort of branching out, and you find yourself on seemingly a road that is going through a forest. Thank you so much to the Raiders from World Anvil. It is so good to see you in chat. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to the 48-hour Calamity. We
Just in time.
decided to escape a giant crystal caterpillar worm by going through an unexpected portal into the Shadowfell. Let's see how this turns out. Now, Jeremy, your character can register portals to other planes of existences. Do you
Yes.
still have that ability? Is that still up and running?
It says as an action I detect the closest
Okay.
once per short rest. So if we took a short rest, I'd get it back.
A short rest in the Shadowfell. Okay. No worries
How
at
long does
all.
a short rest have to be? Quick,
An
like
hour.
quick 10?
Like an hour?
Quick hour?
Yeah.
How short is
Hour?
a short rest?
I would say an hour to sort of take a breather, drink some, hydrate, have a little bit of a bio break. An hour seems about right.
I'm down if y'all are.
Yeah.
This seems to be our only option as we charge in.
Okay.
I have some more biscuits, and Biscuit has cranberries. We could have a small picnic.
Vegetarian, Boreal. See, it's doable.
Nope,
Mhm.
boff, and I go off to hunt for real food.
But, dude, this is the Shadowfell. That's not exactly.
Don't split the party.
I'm not far. Like with the nearby tree line.
It's a one shot. Let's split the party. Why?
in the last 40 minutes of the game, you're like, you know what? Let's dive into a portal to the Shadowfell and split the party up. This is absolutely incredible. Okay.
I know a shortcut through the Shadowfell. It's fine.
Don't worry,
Also,
I've been here many times.
Sorry to interrupt, Jim. Also, this might be appropriate because isn't the Shadowfell's whole thing that it's a dark reflection of the current reality, and there's a strong mirror theme going on here?
That is incredibly true. Yes, indeed. There seems to be some sort of thematic pairing with the dice rolls. Yeah, I love it. So the Shadowfell being a sort of dark reflection of the Feywilds on the other side of the material plane, this could have some interesting consequences as you've brought the Duchess of the Court of Reflection in a harness situation within a box within a carriage, stuck in a mirror into the Shadowfell. Boreal, please roll me an investigation or survival for your hunting ability as an Alwyn to find some food for yourself. As you all seem to rest for this moment, you don't hear the trembling of this shatterpillar anymore, so you assume it lost connection to you or your scent as you dove through this thing and it didn't follow you. 16 for Boreal is perfect. You find yourself something that is akin to meat.
No more Timothys, okay.
Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, you find what looks like an armadillo, but it's blue in color. And it skitters along the ground and sort of rolls into a ball, but you're able to sort of pick up this creature with your talons, and immediately it sort of like opens up its belly to display to you, and is a willing victim in this moment. It was rightfully hunted, and therefore it is happy to be feasted on.
Oh,
What?
nice.
I feel worse somehow. I don't. Oh God, fine. Thank you. And I take it back. I'm like, someone else cook this or something.
I feel worse somehow. That's my favorite.
I'm gonna do something I should have done a long time ago. By the way, I just realized I had this. I have a spell called Non-Detection, which allows a 10-foot place to not be perceived by any sort of scrying magic. And I'm just gonna plop that on the inside of the carriage with a 3rd level spell.
Wonderful. How long does that last?
I think it's 11 days, 8 hours. It's 8 hours.
8 hours is still really good.
Yes.
I will also throw down a pass without trace.
Nice. That is beautiful. Okay, so you stop. The group of you stop for an hour's short rest in the Shadowfell. And there is an eeriness to this location, a stillness. No sounds through the trees. Even the scuttling of creatures has sort of a soft pad-like quality to it, as if you are within a dampened room that sort of absorbs all of the sound, but you're in an open forest that should echo. The winds howl above you, but nothing around your ears. It's so strange and almost isolating in this moment. And by the time you've all sort of taken a moment, the silence amongst the 5 of you, which is a rare occursion, you eat, you drink some food, you drink some water, and you're able to have a little bit of a short rest. If that helps any of you in terms of spell slots and so on and so forth, please make sure you account for that. What is the plan moving forward, however, as you are now in the Shadowfell?
We have our portal detector, yes?
Yes. When I get my ability back, I can attempt to detect another portal, and it will take a little bit of time to recharge, but in the meantime, let's just enjoy the deathly, cold, terrifying ambiance.
How will we know that it is through the right portal, though? That will take us to the right plane instead of,
Well, we can look through this one first. Also,
Great.
Less pressure.
I imagine I might have had some education before I came here about like the locations of various portals. Could I attempt to like remember just off the top of my head if I just know? Because I can still try and sense it, but it'd be great if I have some idea of where an easy fix might be. Either directly back to our plane, ideally closer to where we're trying to go, or even just to the Feywild, because I feel like that would help. Like, we could easily find somebody there who could get us back, I would imagine.
You would know of a location that connect between the Shadowfell and the Feywild. It is in a lot of Fey lore, a lot of references to a Lady of the Lake, a reflection between the two different realms. It is a pool of water on one side, the Shadowfell, the other, the Feywild. If you were to able to locate this mass lake wherever it may be, you know that diving into it would immediately bring you to the other.
Oh, well then I will relay that to the rest of the group and say, I think that's probably where we should head next.
Brilliant.
Thank you. I am.
What? You speak many languages too.
Yes. Would you like me to list them for you? I enjoy
No,
them.
Definitely not. No, I don't.
Right.
No. But save it for later when I'm having difficulty sleeping. That will be really helpful at that point.
Oh, most certainly.
Have
Love it.
any of us been to the Kaleidoscope Discord or district before? No.
Only in
Okay.
the side servers, not the main one.
Different
Because
Discord.
I can make teleportation circles, but I need to know what I'm drawing. So I figure, Ahaniel,
Well, I mean,
your reason would be best then.
we do have one person with us who has been there. And I point to
In
the...
Oh, of course. Oh,
This whole time she's just like waiting behind the curtain, like they're just gonna
like
ignore
getting
me.
jostled, like, inside the
Hey,
mirror.
sorry, we're kind of in the Shadowfell now. You can go back to sleep in a sec, but we need some info from you.
You crawl back into the carriage, open the box, and peer down to the suspended mirror within, and the Duchess looks up at you. That was some interesting sounds. Are we all right?
definitely, totally fine. You know, just the Shatterpillar arriving. We totally heeded your warning, though, and didn't cause any sort of extra chaos. Do you perhaps know of any, teleportation circles in the Kaleidoscope district that I could reach us to?
I do, actually. Bear with me just a moment. You watch as she begins to walk away from you, and you almost follow in the mirror that you are in. What you notice is, on the other side, the reflection behind her looks like a kaleidoscope, looks like a city made of glass. And the reflections of that from the other side, you can see where her not reflection would be, the real her. And as you watch that, you could see that in the center of the throne room, decorated into the glass tiles, as well as the glass-stained windows that sort of like builds this throne room itself, is a teleportation ring within the throne room.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I can definitely recreate this. I'll just, and I'm gonna draw it out in my notebook, so that at the end of our short rest, I can recreate this and cast teleportation circle to hopefully safely get us there. The only thing is, we'll lose the carriage because I can't have big things go through, but we can definitely bring the box with the mirror.
And we
It'll
leave
be
the Panthorses to get mutated by the Shadowfell. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
they could.
the
I
bit.
think they can fit.
We'll just leave the carriage behind. No one likes
Yeah.
carriages. Caraway can get plenty of others. It'll be fine. We'll just add it to Boreal's tab there.
Bah.
I love it so much. Okay. At the
Make it
end,
somebody else's problem.
at the end of the short rest, you are able to make this teleportation rune and cast teleport I believe there's a number of people that you could take, so you're gonna teleport the 5 of you and the 2 Panthorses.
So as you cast the spell, you draw a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground inscribed with sigils. Oh no! On the same plane of existence as you. Fuck. It doesn't work. So I cast the spell and then
Oh wait, no.
nothing happens.
If it's on the same plane, we can just go back through the previous portal.
And then we can find the lake.
Oh.
Are
Or
we
we could, yeah.
pretty sure the worm isn't waiting for us on the other side of that portal?
Yeah.
There was a lot of sand. I can go check. Can I just like run over and just stick my head out? See like out of the sand. See if I see the worm.
Like a meerkat.
You stick your head out of the sand. You roll a perception check for me
afro.
with your beautiful high perception score as well.
Yes, that's a 29.
Nice.
We got another good roll, everybody.
Yeah, we did.
Keep
That
it
is
up.
amazing. You pop your head out of this sinkhole, sandhole portal entrance. You do not see the shadow pillar. What you do see above you is a churning storm with lightning coursing down and causing these masses of glass structures to form out of the sand itself. But you could enter the other side, draw a portal, teleportation circle, and then hop into the kaleidoscope throne room.
I pull my head back through glistening with water, just like covered, just like, but in somehow still just a really like the hair just sort of the fro just sits a little bit lower now. The curls got a little bit looser. Yeah, and I come back through and I say, so the good news is no more Shatterpillar. The bad news is massive scary storm. If we go through there is a chance that we could die before casting the spell. So
It does take me a whole minute.
I turned to the group. Should we take a vote?
Let us risk perhaps another path. That's my choice.
I like the lake. I also wonder if this is a mirror to the Feywild, if there's any locations within the Feywild that we can find a counterpart to. And maybe there's a higher chance of there being a portal there.
Like the lake.
Like the lake.
Like the lake.
Okay. Roll
To the
me
lake.
a survival check, please. For anyone who would like
my
to find the
survival's
lake.
+8.
Okay.
Yeah, Haniel.
Go for it.
This is what I'm good at. I got another good roll. That's
Nice.
27.
Whoa. Okay. Perfect. With a 27, as though you know, you start wandering off into the Shadowfell, followed by your friends and the carriage being pulled by these Panthorses, and immediately stumble upon the lake after about 20 minutes of just casual walking. It's as if you know exactly where you're going. But you it's like instinct to find these things. And there you
I
stand.
walk the path of the song in my heart.
There you stand, the 5 of you and your 2 Panthorses, facing a darkened black inky water with a sword, a very giant sword, sticking out of the center of it.
It seems some warrior has left it behind. Should we go retrieve that?
I'm a big fan of no touchy.
I am also a big fan of no touchy. Someone put it there for a reason. It belongs there.
Oh, you and your old stupid ways. Maybe they just lost it, and if we take it back, someone will be able to claim it. For a finder's fee.
How giant is the sword?
As if a giant themselves would wield it.
Oh God.
A little hard for us to move.
Yeah.
There.
Is there
Okay.
any
Like
writing on
20
the sword?
of me.
Yes.
There is some writing on the sword, an ancient language, yes.
Is it by any chance?
Yes,
in
please name your languages.
Giant. Is it in? Okay, is it perhaps in Abyssal, Celestial, Deep Speech, Draconic,
Harry starts
Giant.
falling asleep.
Infernal, Primordial, Sylvan, or Undercommon?
Primordial.
Oh, well, good.
Ooh.
Yes. You see in Primordial, sort of etched down the sword is the symbols that mean guardian.
Ah.
No idea what that means.
This is some sort of either the sword goes to a guardian or the sword itself is a guardian. I am technically a guardian, so if it's supposed to go to a guardian, not a particular guardian, then theoretically it could go to someone like me or me. But again, there may be a specific guardian who should get the sword. What do we think?
I would like to check for traps.
Go for it.
Traps, giant ghostly forms that
Yes.
pick up the sword, anything of that sort.
It's a 6. Sounds like a great plan.
I'll just quickly do I have that spell? Yes, I do. I'll just do a quick detect magic. I'm sure it's fine. I'll just and more lines cross in front of my blindfold with the burning eyes behind it, and I'll do detect magic looking through like this grid of golden lines in the air at the sword.
Okay.
And I'll supplement that with the divine sense to detect celestial fiends or undead within that area. Too.
Ooh. Okay.
Does somebody want guidance in this?
I would love it.
I'm not rolling.
And I
Give
hold
it
up
to-
my
give
hand.
it to
I
Aaron.
kneel and hold
All
up
right.
my hand.
Hanu. Yes. She'll go and take your hand and like give you a big sloppy kiss on it. Like that's how, like, because dragons don't really, like, dragonborn don't really have lips
Yep.
per se. So it's just like licks all the way up to your wrist, from your middle finger all the way up to your. Pats it a few
Some of my
times.
lines come off on your
You're
tongue.
good. Yeah. It's like the fruit roll up tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't worry, that'll fade away in a day or so.
It's sweet.
Okay.
I turn and say, I am. And then I'm just gonna jog out towards the sword, yeah.
Okay, you immediately get to sort of chest height of water as you jog into the lake to be able to get to the sword. You find it interesting that the lake hasn't, because you're not fully immersing yourself in it, you haven't teleported out or sort of crossed over this barrier, keeping your head above. But you reach out. Do you touch the sword?
Well, first I want to see if there's any magic surrounding
Yes.
it, because I got detect magic.
So, with your radius around the area, nothing in the area is registering magic. It's almost as though it's sept away from this area, the lake itself, the trees surrounding it, all sort of wrapped in shadows and seeping out the magic. The sword itself is glowing in front of you. It is registering a type of magic. Not a wish spell, but to a lesser
The same
degree.
school?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I don't even remember what school Wish is. But it feels like a sort of like a wish-based sword, a little bit.
Kind of.
I'll turn to the group and say, there is powerful magic in this sword. It seems to be, and I look back and forth, wish-based.
Oh.
Anyone who would like to can roll a history check.
Biscuit.
Yeah, that's me. For sure. Oh my god, I got a 4! So 13.
Hey, see.
God.
13 in total. Okay, I think with Biscuit's knowledge and sort of research trying to find dear Henry since his loss, you have studied every possibility of trying to locate your husband, including but not limited to the Sword of Desire. A sword that when wielded or utilized will allow its wielder to have what it truly desires.
This is the Sword of Desire. I think I'm gonna disregard our mission, and I'm gonna rush forward to the sword and try and clasp at its giant hilt. And I'm just gonna think about my Batlin husband, Henry, and wish that he was here.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do at this moment as a Biscuit is swimming in the water to get to this sword? You have a moment of reaction? Okay, perfect.
I'll lift him up towards the sword, and I'll even go, as he rises through the air.
What a beautifully
Is
poetic
this a
moment.
bad idea? Probably not.
I don't know. We'll find out.
This.
Perry looks confused and or scared.
I'm sorry. Can I at least, like, as you run forward, be safe? If you let me touch you real quick, I'm gonna cast Bark Skin on you, just because you're running out there.
Sure.
Okay.
You put your small little mouse hands onto the hilt and you watch as the sword begins to shrink down to a sword that you would be able to wield yourself. As you hold
Swing it up in the air.
this two-handed, basically toothpick-like thing now, as you drop down from what height you had been lifted to into the water itself, you plunge and seem to transport yourself into the Feywild on the other side, and you desire to be reunited with your husband once more. Standing on the opposite side of the lake, you see dear Henry facing you.
Henry!
My love!
It's been so long! 8 long years, I never stopped looking!
He calls out to you from the other side of the lake. And the rest of you just watch as Biscuit dropped into the water and disappeared.
Oh, he's dead.
So when I held him up and he touched the sword, he just fell into the water. And
He grabbed the sword and then just dropped into the water, yeah.
Still hold like the sword dropped in with
Sword with, yeah.
I'll turn everybody. I'll just give it a quick reach in just to see. Like,
did you lose Biscuit? And you kind of see Perry get really angry as she kind of throws off some of her extra clothes. What did you do with Biscuit? Stomps into the water.
I'm sure he's fine. Let me just
Do I see their hand emerge?
Yeah,
when they reach down?
You see as the head of your friend pop out and witness.
I'll yank them in. I'll yank them in as soon as I see their hand.
I'm like, wait, I think I feel. I put my head in and then you just see my feet like as I disappear into the water.
Now, do we think that was a good pull or a bad pull, gang?
Yes. Yes is my answer.
I just need to get away from these creepy armadillos, and I dive straight in.
Well, shit, fuck, balls, ass. I take the pants.
I love what you're serving. Good.
You lead the Panthorses through into the lake, pulling the carriage with the mirror inside and the box as it seems to emerge on the other side. Perry is left alone in the Shadowfell. Is there anything you would like to do, or are you going into the lake yourself?
Stomping in, Perry will go into the water.
By the time you emerge on the other side in the Feywild, you see that a very loving embrace is being conducted between Biscuit and Henry as they hug each other for the first time in 8 long years. It is a very sweet sight as you all look around to what you know to be the Feywild. But what you also see is remnants of the old world from your realm. And it strikes you that if the Fey realm joined with your realm in certain aspects, then the parts of your realm that went missing must have joined in reverse. And Henry has been in the Fey realm for the last 8 years.
Ooh. Wait. This whole time.
So, do we need to then... I feel like we should bring news of this back. Perhaps there are others who were lost here.
Henry.
Do you know? Has anyone been here with you?
Oh, yes. We have a small community of people from our world, but also the princess. Did you know the princess from the old Ceridian Empire? She's been in this city, or the remnants of this city here in the Feywild in this world it's not so long. I've only been gone for a couple of weeks, maybe at the most. Did you just say 8 years?
8 years on our side.
My darling, you haven't aged a day.
Thank you.
Yes,
So
well,
charismatic in a dorky way.
yes.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Listen, we're on a mission. Is there any sort of, I guess you would have used it if you had a teleportation circle here?
Yes,
Any kind of portals?
it's really
other than this one?
strange, my love. The portals don't work in reverse. I haven't been able to cross over to the realm. It's almost as though all portals have been lost in the Feywild. But thank goodness you're here. But were you trying to get somewhere? 'Cause best of luck.
Are we just here now? Are we stuck?
No.
Is that the implication?
Oh,
Can
no.
I
We live
try and
here
go
now.
back through the water?
So
Can I try?
bad.
Can I
You
try and
could-
go back through the water?
You could definitely
this so
try.
bad.
You could definitely try. I will
Yeah.
need you to roll me an Arcana check, and I will let you know that the DC is incredibly high for this to break through this whatever is affecting the Feywild.
I'm casting
sure.
Bless, even if it's just for this one check. So you
Okay.
can have
Yeah.
something.
And I still have guidance, I guess.
Okay.
Yes, you do. Take
Plus
them
2d4.
all.
Here we
4.
go.
Best of luck.
2 d4s. I'm gonna roll the d4s first. That's a 7 on the d4s.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
plus
that'll
7.
offset my -1.
Oh no.
Okay. That puts us at a 22.
Oh.
I'm sorry. The DC was 25. You stick your head in and are met with water. In the great lake that is meant to connect the Shadowfell and the Feywild, you cannot breach.
We may have a bit of a problem. I'd like to take out the mirror.
Yeah. Of
Duchess. Yeah, and sort of turn. Can
Turn
someone
the mirror.
explain? Perhaps
What?
better than me.
What is wrong?
We're stuck. It sucks. I hate it.
We're stuck where?
In
Feywild.
Oh
the
no.
real Feywild.
You
one that
can get-
absorbed parts of the material plane.
Mm-hmm. You know, we get here, but we can't leave now. You didn't tell us that part of this would also require us never going home again.
I did not know you were going to try and use a portal. And especially not into the Feywild. Well, also I didn't know that the Feywild was shut off. That seems bizarre. But let me just
That was what I was.
check something. You watch as, similar to how this reflection was able to peer around the Kaleidoscope Palace because their original true form was on the other side, you all watch, and the audience all watches, as this reflection seems to peer around and search around the castle and finds that same golden-haired gentleman that was peering at memories within your minds earlier. This time you all see this gentleman, this fae, for the first time wearing white and silver robes that flow down to the floor. They face in the reflection and they watch as you enter into the room, or the reflection seems to peer in the space, and his eyes seem to meet all of you instead through the mirror. Oh, Duchess. You have fallen right into my trap. Thank you for making this so easy and for hiring such an interesting group of people.
Do I recognize this figure at all? Because they seem sort of like extra planar, maybe even a little angelic, maybe?
Yes, definitely. Roll an insight check for me.
Okay. It's a 21. Oh, +2 from Bless. That's a 23.
You would know this being. This is known as the God Hunter.
Damn.
Yes, a being that has traversed the planes and harnessed energy from gods from the different realms and different worlds, an incredibly powerful being. And the Duchess is confused, asking, Vizier, whatever do you mean? What is happening? And this gentleman turns to the five of you. I will give you each choice. The Duchess may not come back. But the five of you seem rather peculiar, and holding the Sword of Desire, if you were to bring that to me, I would bestow upon each of you your greatest desire, or even more so, a wish.
As I have... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sol.
I'm just going through all the wishes in my head to make him just out of existence. But no, please, continue, Biscuit.
I'm thinking, as I use the sword once, do I have any sort of understanding of how it works? Can I, like, transfer ownership? Is it one of those, like, one use per person type deals?
It feels it. It feels like a one use per person kind of deal.
Okay. As he's confronting us, Biscuit's going to... It's a small toothpick-sized sword that they're going to post behind their back and try and hand it to someone else in the party.
Okay. Slide a hand for me, please.
Not very good at that. We will see. Oh, yeah! 22.
22. Okay, who was standing behind Biscuit, do we think?
I like swords.
I was the last one through. Yeah, Soul seems to be the most likely.
Okay. Soul, you are able to grab onto the hilt of this sword. You watch as it immediately sort of grows to your size within your fingertips. And you are granted your deepest desire. What is Soul's deepest desire in this moment?
In this moment, face down with an unknown being, the crushing failure, astronomical failure of the simple task of taking something from one place to another on the same plane. Saul wants nothing more than to complete the mission. I think with a deft swing of their sword from behind their back, if you'll allow it, they cut a hole in the fabric of reality, which would start vacuuming stuff into Kaleidoscope. Oh, but your husband is here.
Brilliant.
Hang on to him.
He's with us, yeah. I think
Okay, good.
Okay,
good.
When your husband is here, hang on.
I'm really sad.
They're easy to transport, right? They don't need a lot of leg room. It's just like on a plane.
I absolutely adore this. You tear a hole in reality. You tear a hole in reality, and you and your friends and Henry and the sword and half of the lake get vacuumed in to this tear into the city of Kaleidoscope, and smack into this gentleman as well. The mirror itself is sort of tumbling through as following all of you, sliding across the glass flooring. But now this tear in the fabric of reality is existing in the center of the Kaleidoscope cathedral.
Oof.
And that is where we're gonna end this session.
Are we making things worse? Yay, but also now there are ripped holes and...
Well, at least you didn't start a war between two cities. You just ripped a hole in the fabric of reality.
That's true. And we have Henry.
And the Sword of Desire.
Honestly, Biscuit and Henry being reunited may be like the only victory that Perry cares about.
Absolutely freaking brilliant. You are all amazing. I love the spontaneous ideas that led down some very interesting rabbit holes. For the life of me, it was like, oh, we're going to the Shadowfell. I don't know how to loop that back to Kaleidoscope, and I didn't expect a hole in the fabric of reality to transport us back to the Kaleidoscope Cathedral. Huh. That's going to be fun to handball over to the next world builder to make sense before I pick up with game 6 in about 3 hours' time. I'm keen to see what they make. Let's go around and reintroduce ourselves. Tell the people who you are, where they can find you, because all of you are absolutely incredible individuals and creative people. I want them to go and share the love with you as well. Let's start reverse this time. Caustic Phoenix, who are you?
Yes. Hello. Yes, I'm Caustic Phoenix, also Becca Godsey over on Twitter. And you can always find me on Twitch, YouTube, and this Sunday with D20 Deathmatch as we wrap up season 5. I hope you'll come join us. It'll be a grand old time. And of course, on Monday, we're finishing up our episode of Stream Hers over on the Gamers. So it'll be a great collection. But of course, you can always go back and check out any of our VODs of the amazing women in the gaming space.
Hell yeah. Love that. Shar.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlene Bear. I go by Char. My pronouns are she, they. You can find me all over the internet at Charlene Bear. I'm also the resident DM of Tabletop Titties, a queer and feminist TTRPG actual play show run entirely by people of marginalized genders. And of course, when I say Tabletop Titties, that is with double D's. And I will pass it off to Julie.
Incredible. Hi, everybody. I go by Julie CL, or Julian online. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I am an award-winning fantasy writer. If you like audio dramas, I'm the co-creator and co-writer of a 30-episode one featuring actors from Avatar: The Last Airbender. We got Toph Befon's voice actor Michaela Jill Murphy as an antagonist, and we also have Risa May of Genshin Impact on it as well. 30-episode audio series about fairies going through a trial to come of age and earn their wings by climbing to the top of a tree that reaches the sky. I'm also I'm one of the owners of Roll D5, which is a TTRPG indie channel all about promoting indie games and beyond. I love stories, and we're gonna get more of them out there, and happy to collaborate with these people on this one.
Eee! I love that.
Passing it to Jeremy.
All right. I'll take that introductory hot potato and say, hey, everybody, my name is Jeremy, pronouns he, him. You can find me on the show 3 Black Halflings. It's a podcast talking about diversity and inclusivity in TTRPGs and general nerddom. You can find us wherever pods are cast. You can also find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Jeremy Cobb1. That's Cobb with 2 B's, the number 1. And you can find me on Instagram at the Cobbmeister. And I stream here on Twitch Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And in fact, I have a Baldur's Gate 3 stream with Char on Mondays, twitch.tv/casualquestlive. If you want to see a person who is absolutely not a gamer attempting to become a gamer, then come check us out.
I love that so much. I had a similar thought because I'm absolutely ridiculously bad at video games because I just didn't grow up with them as much, computer games especially, and so I was thinking about doing a sort of AJ attempts computer games segment, and I just think it would be chaos. The amount of times I've struggled to just learn how to do fishing in Stardew Valley, which is not that hard. It took me about a month to get okay at that because I've never used a WASD key system before, and my fingers don't know how to do it.
We'll play Pico Park sometime. It'll be fun.
Ooh, cute. Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny Montooth. You can find me and all of my friends over at twitch.tv/Perception Studio, where we do lots of interactive TTRPG content. We do D&D on Wednesdays, currently themed to ACOTAR, which is, it's very silly with our felted friends. And then on Tuesday nights, we have rotating systems. Every month, it's a new system, and usually new GMs, new players, so we can get as many fresh faces as we can. And we've got all kinds of stuff. But for me, I am an audiobook narrator, a voice actor, a puppeteer, and all kinds of random stuff. And you can find me at DMontooth everywhere.
Yay! And the lovely Cucumber is actually going to be joining us for Game 7 of this 48-hour Calamity, so I'm excited to see what he is going to bring. to this strange as hell world that we are creating as we go. This has been absolutely incredible. We are going to go to a break. We're going to bring in our world building team for the night shift as I take a quick nap before the next game, which I think I need because I'm slowly losing my mind in a brilliant but chaotic way, and in order for me to pull off 2 more games of this 48-hour calamity, I think I need to rest my brain a little bit. You are all absolutely wonderful beings. Thank you so much for joining us for this 48-hour calamity festivity to celebrate 2 years on Twitch. We will be right back. Well, Winter's Tales will be right back in about I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes to help set up everything on Fudge Zach Speaks Giants end, as he is going to lead this world building with Sarah Moore from Pixies and Pins and Cinderblock Sally moving forward. So let us go and sort that out. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.